his life for the redemption of mankind. Jesus did not come for a self-centered life, but a sacrificial life. He came in order that men will be reconciled to God and men will have abundant life to live and fulfill destiny. And in order for this to happen, Jesus had to give his own life as a sacrifice. That is what we are celebrating this season. And what this means to us is that we should live our lives in such a way that we will not be self-centered, but our lives will be for the glory of God and the blessings of others. In our country, Nigeria, we do not see too much of that happening. We see people living for themselves. All that we say about corruption, all we say about not caring for the poor and the needy people is because people have a self-centered life, not a selfless life, the kind that Jesus had and made him to offer himself. So we should all arise and be sacrificial, not thinking of ourselves alone, but we must think of the good of others. And in the midst of this economic distress, many people can be assisted when we become selfless and think of the good of others. Jesus thought of the good of others, and that's why he came. And we are supposed to replicate that by the way we live, by thinking of the good of others. And with, if we do so, Nigeria will be a better community to live in, and people's life will be blessed.
Absolutely. All right, Reverend, Palm Sunday, as we knew it, is, or know it, is characterized by large processions with the associated paraphernalia of palms, but this was not the case this time around. Can you speak to the impact of the coronavirus pandemic on the commemoration?
Yes, thank you. The coronavirus pandemic has impacted worship in various ways. If you notice, the way we worship is quite different from the way we used to worship. Even sitting arrangements in churches have changed. All the things we need to do in order to get to the church, the protocols to be followed, they are things that are new. They've been on only since during this pandemic. We've been told to avoid crowds, and therefore, even to attend church, number of people have to be reduced so that we can have few people to worship and the place will not be crowded. The usual style of the celebration of the triumphal entry, which is the Palm Sunday, was to have large crowds of people singing hosannas, and if we do that, we will be breaking the protocols on COVID, and therefore, in order to be able to keep the protocols until God gives us total victory over COVID, we have had to reduce the celebration. Only few people have gone on processions, and so the crowd has not been like before. The church has to comply by the protocols of government in order for us to have a healthy society. We do not want the pandemic to be spreading around because we are celebrating Palm Sunday and then we pass around sicknesses to one another. At the end of the day, we have no benefit from that. Therefore, we are obeying the protocols and we are having a low-key kind of Palm Sunday.
Yeah, very, very important. All right, finally, before I let you go, Reverend, are there any attitudinal changes you expect to see from Nigerians as the world reflects on the Passion of Christ?
Yes, definitely this is a time for sober reflection. The reason Jesus came, like I said, was to reconcile us to God, the Lamb of God that takes away the sin of the world. This is a time for us to reflect on our lifestyles, a time for repentance, a time for sober reflection, a time for reconciliation with God. And if definitely we live in reconciliation with God, then we will live the kind of life of love that God himself had that made him to send his son Jesus Christ. The import of this is that we will also show love to one another. In our country, Nigeria, we have a lot of very negative things happening: banditry, terrorism, attacks, killing, rape. All these things are completely against the laws of God.
Yes.
And the laws of God are summarized in love. It is because of love that God sent Jesus Christ to come to the world that we may be forgiven and reconciled.
Absolutely.
Therefore, this season is a season for love, and we should do away with everything about hatred and killing, the murder, all kinds of wickedness should stop, and love should spread around in Nigeria.
All right. Thank you, Reverend Israel Akonji, Chairman, Christian Association of Nigeria North Central. Thanks for being with us on NTA International and sharing your thoughts with us. Thank you. All right. Moving on now to security matters. And the Nigerian Navy says it has expanded its policy and operations to effectively tackle insecurity in the maritime space. Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Awol Gambo, who said this during his familiarization tour of units and establishments at the Eastern Naval Command in Calabar, notes that the actions are in line with President Muhammadu Buhari's order to restore the nation's security. Justina Etem reports.
The familiarization visits took the Chief of Naval Staff to units and establishments, which include the Nigerian Navy Secondary School, Akbabuyo, the sites for the proposed Naval War College, the Nigerian Navy Reference Hospital, and more. Addressing officers and ratings, the Chief of Naval Staff harps on professionalism and integrity, warning that the Nigerian Navy will not hesitate to sanction personnel who collude with criminal elements to perpetrate oil thefts, kidnapping, economic sabotage, and other crimes within the maritime space.
We intend to fill the gaps where we observe operationally, because our operations are very dynamic, and we re-strategize as the challenges vary.
The Chief of Naval Staff also disclosed that the Nigerian Navy will ensure the upgrade of facilities and equipment at the reference hospital, as well as capacity building of personnel.
I shall ensure our engineering personnel are availed requisite training, facility upgrade and repair kits to enable them undertake basic first line maintenance.
The Chief of Naval Staff also reiterates that personnel who excel in their duties will be rewarded. In Calabar, Justina Etam, NTA News.
In the meantime, the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, says 2 towers along the Damaturu-Maiduguri 330 kV transmission line have again been vandalized by insurgents less than 24 hours after power supply was restored to Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. The incidents, which occurred in the early hours of Saturday, again cut power supply to Maiduguri and its environs. TCN says this time the insurgents chain bombed 2 other towers, T152 and T153, along the same line routes of the other incidents that left Maiduguri and environments without power supply for 2 months. TCN assures that it will continue to do all that it can to ensure power supply is restored to the affected areas. In another development, a special investigative task force set up by the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, in continuation of ongoing investigations into the reported attack and attempted murder of the Governor of Benue State, Samuel Otom, has arrived Makurdi, the Benue State capital. A statement from the Force Public Relations Officer, Commissioner of Police Frank Mba, says the team, led by DCP Abba Kiari, consists of operatives from the Tactical Investigation Units of the Force Intelligence Bureau and other experienced crack detectives with specialized competencies in crime scene investigation and reconstruction, ballistics, fingerprint analysis, and other core areas of forensics. The team is expected to take over and consolidate on all ongoing investigations into the incidents. The team is also expected to investigate all angles of the reported attack with a view to ensuring that all persons empirically linked to the incidents are apprehended and brought to book. Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police has charged the team to be professional, thorough, and clinical in their investigations. They are expected to liaise and work with the Benue State Police Command and other relevant members of the law enforcement community to ensure that they deliver on their mandates. In the meantime, operatives of the Nigeria Police Force have arrested 16 suspects for complicity in a series of violent and unprovoked attacks on security operatives and facilities in some states of the Federation, particularly in the southeastern part of Nigeria. A statement from the Force Public Relations Officer, CP Frankenbach says the suspects were arrested in various parts of the country following sustained and intelligence-driven operations. Police investigations clearly established and linked the suspects to several incidents of attacks and murder of security personnel, as well as stealing, unlawful possession of firearms, arson, and malicious damage to operational assets of military and law enforcement agents. A total of 9 AK-47 rifles, 5 other sophisticated firearms, 17 AK-47 magazines, 549 AK-47 live ammunition, 10 improvised explosive devices, camouflage bulletproof vests, walkie-talkies, and other incriminating items were recovered from the suspects. Meanwhile, the IGP reiterates that the force will not tolerate any further attacks on its personnel or any citizen by any individual or group under any guise whatsoever. You're watching the news on NTA International. A break beckons now. Stay with us. We'll be back after this break.
What limits you? Nothing. Who defines you? No one. Where can you go? Everywhere. With unlimited super-fast internet access, free Intel-to-Intel calls, and crystal-clear quality conversations, you can do and be whatever you want to be. Intel.
Thanks for remaining with NTA International. Now, the national leader of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has advocated the need for Nigerians to unite towards addressing the nation's developmental challenges rather than promoting ethnic, religious or sectional interests. He was speaking during a courtesy visit to the Emir of Kano, Aminu Aro Bayero. Abdullahi Mustafa has details.
Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu is in Kano on a two-day visit to attend his 69th birthday colloquium and interact with people of the state with a view to promoting national cohesion.
To sustain a bridge of peace, prosperity, harmony, tolerance.
National interest, he stressed, should be prioritized by every patriotic citizen for the country to achieve its development goals. Emir Amina Ado Bayero commended the bridge-builder role of the APC leader, describing him as a true patriot and statesman. Thereafter, Senator Tinubu inaugurated the remodeled office complex of the Kano State Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission. He also inspected other mega projects of the Ganduje administration, including bridges, ultra-modern cancer treatment facility, and the Aliko Dangote Skills Acquisition Center. Senator Bola Tinubu enjoined people of Kano to continue to support Governor Ganduja's move to take the state to the next level. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
Modern scientific discoveries have proven that it is possible to achieve frequency stability of the long-term evolution of spectrum between the mobile and broadcast mast signals in a digital world. Abdurrahman Ubzman Jibrila reports that this came to the fore during the fellowship conferment and award session organized by the Nigeria Institute for Electrical and Electronic Engineers.
These are the 24 engineers conferred with the Fellowship Award of the Nigeria Institute for Electrical and Electronic Engineers and the Executive Director Engineering NTA, Stephen Moses Okpanachi, is among the awardees.
Not an award to me, but an award to Nigerian Television Authority.
In a lecture presented on the latest discovery to hinder the continued interference of signal spectrum between the signal waves of mobile and broadcast mast by Stephen Okpanachi, put the research outcome into perspective.
It is feasible in Nigeria to coexist together. So in other words, we could now effectively and efficiently utilize the frequency spectrum
for the benefit of mankind.
Some of the awardees say the development will inspire massive participation that will improve operations of service providers for maximum impact and appreciate the honor which will spur them for greater performance.
The challenge ahead is that for engineers, there will always be problems. So as we solve one problem, or other problem will still come.
We need to be more visible. We need to showcase our excellence. We need to showcase our competence to the world.
Stakeholders believe that harmonization of the frequency spectrum will expand the digital space and provide job opportunities to millions of Nigerians and beyond. In Abuja, Abraman Usman Jibrila, NTA News.
President Vladimir Putin urges Russians to get vaccinated against COVID-19 amid high level of skepticism in Russia, and suspected suicide bombers attack Indonesian church during Palm Sunday Mass. Joyce Ometu has details of these and more on Global Updates.
South Africa plans to administer COVID-19 vaccine to 200,000 people daily. So far, more than 230,000 persons have been vaccinated in that country. The government says it aims to inoculate around 40 million of the country's population, which recorded the highest number of COVID-19 cases and deaths in Africa. Meanwhile, President Vladimir Putin has called on Russians to get inoculated against the coronavirus amid a slow vaccine rollout and high levels of skepticism in the country. Putin says getting vaccinated is necessary. And authorities in India have imposed a nighttime curfew on the western state of Maharashtra after the state's capital, Mumbai, reported a record daily rise in cases. Mumbai's Mayor Kishore Pednekar announced that the statewide curfew, which is between 8 p.m. and 7 a.m., begins Sunday and will be enforced until April 15. In the meantime, total positive cases globally have reached 127 million, with more than 2.7 million fatalities. Total cases in Nigeria rose to 162,489 after 101 new cases were recorded Saturday. Away from the global scourge, a suspected suicide bomb attack outside a Catholic church in Indonesian city of Makassar has left at least 14 people wounded as worshippers gathered on Palm Sunday. Indonesian President Joko Widodo said he strongly condemns the act of terror, while the country's religious affairs minister urges police to increase security measures at places of worship. From Sudan, the country's interim government and a major rebel group on Sunday signed a document which paves way for a final peace agreement by guaranteeing freedom of worship to all. The signing is viewed as a crucial step in efforts by the power-sharing government headed by General Abdel Fattah to reach accords with rebel groups across the country and end decades of conflict that left millions displaced and hundreds of thousands dead. And that ends this segment. I am Joyce Ometu.
Thank you, Joyce. Now, Senate President Ahmed Lawan sends his best wishes to former Governor of Lagos State, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, on the occasion of his 69th birthday on Monday. In a statement by the Special Advisor to the Senate President on Media and Publicity, Ola Awuni, Senator Lawan joins family members, friends, and political associates of the national leader of the All Progressives Congress in rejoicing with him for marking the day in good health and high spirits. Senator Lawan observed that the Jagaban of Borgu is also a founding father of his great party, the APC, and has been consistent alongside other leaders in guiding the ruling party along a progressive path for the growth of Nigeria's democracy and the development of the nation. Similarly, Speaker of the House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila has celebrated the national leader of the All Progressives Congress, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, on his 69th birthday coming up on March 29th. Gbajabiamila, in a statement, was full of praise for the Jagaban of Borgu kingdom, noting that the Asiwaju has been living a fulfilled life worthy of emulation by all. He said, as a foremost progressive Democrats, Tinubu's doggedness, determination, resilience, and commitment alongside other patriots made it possible for the entrenchment and deepening of democracy in Nigeria. The Speaker noted with delight that Tinubu is one Nigerian that has carried everybody along politically, socially, and economically irrespective of tribe, ethnicity, religion, gender, or station in life, earning himself many positives, as many see in him an emancipator, a great philanthropist, a rallying point, and a unifying pillar. Those that come from his school, Bajamia Mila, added know that he stands for justice and fairness for all, as his presence in the political space is more than a blessing. He prayed that the Almighty Allah will continue to preserve the life of this great man and give him the wisdom and good health to continue with the work of nation building. Up next is the sports update.
It was a harvest of gold Sunday at the Lafayette Township Stadium, with Nasarawa United winning 5-3 against Abia Warriors in the biggest win of Week 18. Lobby Stars lost away to Aqua United in Uyo 3-0 as Plateau United earned all 3 points in a 2-1 victory over Enugu Rangers in Jos. Kwara United got the only away win in Katsina, with the home side Katsina United losing 1-3 to maintain its grip on the log of the Nigeria Professional Football League. The strict quarantine rules in Australia, which has helped the country maintain a low COVID-19 infection rate, means that world number 1 Ashley Barty may not return home until after the end of the 2021 tennis season. She was speaking after a 6-3, 6-2 victory over Yelena Ostapenko at the Miami Open, where she is the defending champion. Obviously, with the quarantine laws in Australia, we do our 2 weeks quarantine in a hotel, and there is actually not a lot of space in the season to be able to do that just to get home for the 2 weeks. Meanwhile, British boxer Dillian Whyte is on his way to having a shot at the heavyweight world title after knocking out the Russian Alexander Povetkin in a rematch decided in Gibraltar. The impressive record of the Russian is now dented the more, having only lost to Anthony Joshua and Vladimir Klitschko in 39 fights. The result is also an answer to critics who had questioned the timing of the rematch after Povetkin knocked out Whyte in August 2020. "I am just sad I didn't get it finished in the first round," said Whyte, but his promoter is happy all the way. He manhandled Povetkin. He battered him from pillar to post. We are back where we wanted to be. The aim remains the same, for Dillian to have a shot at the World Championship. The sports update, Manzi Marcus, NTA News.
And next is the weather forecast for Monday. Well, that concludes the news on NTA International for now. Do remember to join the NTA in the stand against rape and rapists. I am Dennis at Dignoy. Thanks for watching.
A day, 7 days a week. You can watch NTA International live on your TV, computer, iPad, tablet and phone. Log on to visiontv.co.uk and click on Entertainment, then NTAI. You can also download the iOS or Android app on your mobile devices to watch NTA International on the go, anywhere in the world. NTA International, your window to the world.
Hello and welcome to NIMASA This Week, the voice of Maritime. NIMASA This Week is brought to you by the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency. Did you know that NIMASA's regulatory function covers activities such as marine pollution prevention and control, search and rescue, cabotage enforcement, shipping development, ship registration, training and certification of seafarers, amongst a host of other maritime-related responsibilities. All of these made possible by the Merchant Shipping Act, the NIMASA Act, the Cabotage Act, and of course, the SPOMO Act. As usual, my name has not changed. It's Ubo Gisien, and on this voyage, I'll be your guide.
I am Hadiza Bala Usman, Managing Director, Nigerian Ports Authority, and you're watching NIMASA This Week, the voice of Maritime. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. It's still NIMASA This Week, the voice of Maritime. And on today's episode, our focus largely will be on the NIMASA floating dry dock. Yes, MFDD NIMASA. What is a floating dry dock? You'll get to find out, and much more, how this huge investment by NIMASA is poised to transform the maritime landscape of Nigeria. You get to find out from the DG of NIMASA about his visit to the Managing Director of the Nigerian Ports Authority, about what both parties are doing in their coming together and unique partnership to ensure the floating dock begins operations as quickly as possible. That you'll find out on DG's diary. Of course, we've got our other regular segments for you with a lot to learn about the wonderful world of shipping in Nigeria. So, if you're ready, as we always say here in NIMASA, it's anchors away.
Introducing the NIMASA Distress Response Call Lines for all maritime stakeholders, ship owners, seafarers, ship captains. Whatever your challenge or distress in the Nigerian maritime domain, please call 0803 0685 167, 0708 0005 956, 0700 0700 010. If you can't reach us on these lines, please call 0700 0700 020, 0700 0700 030. Also via VHF Radio Channel 16. Call and NIMASA will respond.
Hello viewers, you're welcome to Inside Shipping segment on NIMASA This Week, the voice of Maritime. I'm Bukola Babadele. We are currently on board NIMASA Floating Dock, MFDD NIMASA. And with me on today's episode is Engineer Olu Aladenusin, the head Maritime Seafarers and Safety Standards Department and the head of the Committee of Dry Dock of NIMASA. Please tell us what is floating dock.
A floating dock is a facility used in carrying out repairs of ships. When you want to repair any ship, the floating dock will be floated by pumping in waters into the floating dock. The floating dock has pumps and tanks by the wings. So by the time you pump in the water, it will go down, and then the vessel that is set to be repaired will move in according to the arrangement of the blocks on the deck. This is always done by the dock master in line with the docking plan of the ship. The blocks will be on the main deck of the floating dock, and as soon as the vessel goes into the dock, it will it will float up again, and the water will go out, and the floating dock will come up, and the vessel on the floating dock will be set for repairs.
We want you to tell us and the viewers watching, what are the benefits of NIMASA having this dry dock at the moment to the maritime industry?
It's to create employment, to bring in foreign exchange to Nigeria. This particular floating dock, this is the second we have in Africa, next to South Africa. You can see that because of the lack of the capacity, most of our vessels go to Ghana, go to Sierra Leone, go to Cameroon to carry out repairs. So because with this type of floating dock, we're going to create employment, we're going to bring in vessels from other countries, and that will going to bring in more foreign exchange to Nigeria, and then will create a job and will increase capacity in training. Because the floating dock can also be used when our cadets will come from school to come and learn few things here, especially the marine engineer, and also from the universities.
What advantage has the capacity, the infrastructural build of this dock, what advantage does it have above other docks?
This floating dock is a new technology. They call it modular because it comes into segments. If you are working on this floating dock, that is, if you are carrying out repairs on the floating dock, you can remove part of it and take them for repairs. The floating dock itself needs to be dry docked. So while you are doing that, you can still carry out your specific, the type of job you are doing on the floating dock, and remove part of the modules and go and repair them and fix them back. By that way, you don't need to close down this floating dock completely where you need to dry dock. You have to dry dock this one as well. So instead of closing down the business completely, you can remove them in segments and take them for repairs while the floating dock will still be working. This is a special feature on this particular floating dock, which no floating dock in Nigeria or West Africa has.
In terms of size, height?
Size, type of equipment, and the type of arrangement of the modular dock itself. The floating dock will be in Continental Shipyard because of the mechanical, electrical, fabrication workshops. Because the floating dock itself require the services of all these workshops. You don't just take it to anywhere. You have to take it to a yard where you have the mechanical workshop, electrical workshop, molding workshop, and fabrication workshop. We are on the deck of the floating dock. On this deck, we have positions where we're going to have the block that will take the weight of the ships that will be repaired. So what you are seeing here is the sport leg. Because of this type of floating dock, this sport leg is going to be used to pin her down. We have two of it. So on these sport legs, the floating dock will be moving up and down. This type of floating dock is a new technology entirely. We only have two of these in entire Africa. So NIMASA is the second organization or agency that will have this type of floating dock. So because of the peculiarity of this, it's designed to be on these sport legs. When you put the sport legs, it will pin her down to the seabed, and whenever it is going to pick any vessel, it will go down on our weight. They'll pump water into the tanks. On the side, you have tanks. When you start pumping, it will start going down, taking in water into the tanks, until such a time that the depth will be fit to admit the vessel to come inside. And already, before then, we will have put the blocks in places according to the docking plan of the ship that is coming for repairs. So we have a dock master who does the arrangement for such positioning of the wooden blocks. So as the ship is coming in, it will just drive straight on the block and sit down. As soon as the floating dock admits the vessel that is coming in for repairs, they will now start floating her up and start pumping out the water from the tanks. So it will now come up and the vessel will be up for repairs. So what we have today, we are on the main deck of the floating dock. As you can all see, the floating dock is in a perfect condition. the way she came from the fabrication yard. You can see the deck. You can see the bulkhead. There are no changes. There are no damages to it. We have 3 types of cranes. We have the major crane. We use them according to the safe loading levels and the capacity of what we are using them for. For example, if you have to remove the engine from, or you are bringing heavy item on the floating dock, you are changing equipment, you are bringing another one in. So the crane will just bring out its hands and take them and bring them in. What you have in the containers, inside them you have blocks of different sizes and for different type of ships to be repaired. So what you have up there are generators, 3 generators. As I speak with you, we had a committee that is having, the meeting is ongoing. We have a committee between the NIMASA and NPA. And then we are talking about the management plan and how to move the floating dock from here to the site, to the new site. Right now, we've completed all sittings. We are at the point of reporting back to individual management because we've sat for almost 3 weeks now. So we are expected by tomorrow to go back to our individual management and report back to them our decisions of the committee. So the top management of the 2 agencies will now decide on whatever we have come up with from the committee.
The Director General of Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Dr. Bashir Jamo, has assured Nigerians and indeed all stakeholders in the maritime domain that the agency modular floating dock is in the process of being deployed. He made this known in a visit to the Managing Director of Nigerian Ports Authority, Hadiza Bala Usman, at NPA headquarters in Marina, Lagos. The DG NIMASA recounted the process the agency has to go through to secure the NPA Continental Shipyard for the floating dock.
If you can recollect, the modular floating dock arrived in Nigeria in May 2018. And there are a lot of, front and back between the agency and different facility owners. If you can recollect, at that time, NPA, they entered into agreement with the Continental Shipyard and the Lagos Channel Management, meaning that that facility wasn't available for us to utilize it. And other private dockyards, they were not forthcoming. Either they are not forthcoming, or the cost of maintaining or holding the floating dock there is going to be very expensive for us. And because of that, it's degenerated up to the time I took over. That's one aspect of the challenges we have faced. And then the second issue, we have to go through approvals from the Ministry of Transportation, approval from the ICRC, because we have to partner. The partnership will be that, we own the modular floating dock, but we don't have the infrastructure to dock the floating dock. That's one. Secondly, the person that will give us this infrastructure will have to bring him to table, agree and disagree on the modes of the sharing ratio. And then thirdly, the managing partner, the person that will manage the floating dock also must be available to come and do that. So for the past, I think, from July till now, we have been discussing with NPA. As you know, they are the landlords. Even if they don't have the continental shipyard, they will have to look for an alternative way. As a sister organization, they will have to find an alternative way for us to get a place where we are going to put the floating dock. And we got that note in July. So we have to shift our focus now to the Federal Ministry of Transportation for approval. We got that approval in February, just last month. And we were allowed to go ahead with it. Then the second lap is for us to get the approval of ICRC on the mode of the operations and the PPP, the mode of PPP arrangement. Now we have NIMASA and NPA on board. NIMASA providing the modular floating dock, and then NPA providing the infrastructure as continental shipyard, having, taking care of the agreement between the NPA and the continental shipyard or Lagos Channel Management.
The MD of NPA, Hadiza Bala Usman, stressed the need to promote the NIMASA local dry dock to maximum capacity by placing the NPA's shipyard at NIMASA's disposal as preferred location. She also noted that NPA was going into agreement with NIMASA to hand over its dockyard, jetty locations, and warehouses all within that area to enable the modular floating dock to be installed.
One of the important aspects is the need for us within the maritime industry to promote local dry docking to the maximum capacity. We have seen the request from NIMASA for us to provide the necessary location where the floating dock will be located. We have identified our dockyard as a preferred location, and we're going into an agreement with NIMASA to hand over our dockyard, hand over the jetty location, some warehouses and land within that premise to enable the modular floating dock to be installed in that location. We believe that it's an integral part of the maritime sector, and we would like to commend and recognize NIMASA for starting this up, and the Nigerian Ports Authority would continue to provide the necessary support. The relevant details as it relates to the aspect of our shareholding within the SPV will all be guided by the ICRC in how we conclude on the shareholding structure of the SPV that will be established for the modular dock. But as it is, Nigerian Ports has confirmed and reiterated that it will support it, and we're going to hand over those locations within the next few weeks to NIMASA to enable them conclude the movement of the modular floating dock from the Naval dockyard to the MPA dockyard in Apapa. So this is a very welcome development for the sector, as I said, and we look forward to patronizing and using that dockyard facility for our vessels and other vessels of government agencies.
On an estimated time frame of when the modular floating dock will be deployed, Ms. Bala Usman has this to say.
Well, regarding our own relationships in terms of where it to be housed, those aspects are very clear, and within the next 3 to 4 weeks we should be able to have clarity on it being housed in the Apapa dockyard. But the other aspect is the operations, the management and operations of the modular floating dock. And as I said, all of these are guided through the outline business case of the ICRC, and that procedure will determine the outcome of who would be the manager and how the management will be done. We also recognize the importance of this project, and I believe ICRC will provide the necessary guidance in concluding this selection process of the operator within a shortest period. We cannot specifically tell you when it will be completed because we're not in control of the outcome and the time frame with which that will be done. But as it relates to Nigerian Ports Authority and NIMASA and where the modular floating dock would sit for its continued operations, that time frame is clear. The GG NIMASA, who is the custodian and owner of the modular floating dock, would provide additional clarity on the time frame with which ICRC will conclude on the selection of the operator stroke manager. But indeed, our own aspect as agencies of government, that is clear. We have concluded our own aspect.
In his own response on the timeline, Dr. Jamo has this to say.
You know, when you have a landlord and you are asking for a rent, the determining factor of when you should, enter the house is in the hands of the landlord. That's why when you ask the questions, I allow the aspect of the day and the time to come from the landlord. You have heard it from the horse's mouth. Within the next 4 weeks, we will have the place ready. Now, the second aspect, as you mentioned on the issue of operations, we have already obtained the ICRC approval. We were directed that we should move to the Federal Executive Council. So we have the approval of ICRC. So we are moving now to the Federal Executive Council. So in my own explanation, I earlier mentioned to you that as far as we are concerned, the operations automatically commenced. But the confirmation of certain aspect of the operations will be run concurrently. While we are seeking the Federal Executive Council approval, the issue of managing partner will be moving alongside the issue of advert of selecting the those who express interest to manage the floating dock will also run concurrently. So as far as this agreement is done, is signed, sealed and delivered. So we are good to go.
Welcome back. It's still NIMASA this week, the voice of Maritime. This is where we get to read to you from his Twitter handle at Jamo Bashir. It's important to note that the floating dock is designed to create tremendous economic value within the Nigerian maritime space. And the DG is not resting until the dock comes into full operations. And he says, despite the fictitious stories without proper investigation, I can affirm that the modular floating dry dock has come to stay. We've concluded arrangement with the Nigerian Port Authority Continental Shipyard for the NIMASA MFDD, that's the short for Modular Floating Dry Dock, to become operational, thanks to Hadiza Bala Usman, that's the CEO of NPA, for the cooperation. The DG goes on further to say, in yet another tweet concerning the modular floating dock, hashtag NIMASA floating dock will provide many benefits for the maritime sector. Benefits such as forex savings, employment, to boost indigenous capacity, develop shipping, plus the training and exposure for the seafarers of the Maritime Academy of Nigeria, Oron, and the Maritime University, Okeren Koko. Thanks, NPA. Thanks, Hadiza Bala Usman. Of course, that's the Managing Director of the Nigerian Ports Authority. So, let's continue this conversation with the Director General of NIMASA on his Twitter handle at Jamo Bashir. The hashtag remains the voice of Maritime. Additionally, NIMASA Official remains the agency's official social media handles, be it on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Remember that the NIMASA official website remains the official resource for updates and other relevant information you may require in making any decision as it relates to the maritime business in Nigeria. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode of NIMASA This Week, the voice of Maritime. And as you've seen, the NIMASA floating dry dock is real, it isn't derelict, in fact, it is in good, pristine condition. And NIMASA is poised with the partnership of NPA and other government agencies and stakeholders within the industry to add significant value to our shipping development. It can only mean one thing, that the eventual launch of this massive national maritime investment is on course. And I'm asking you too to stay on course. Bon voyage.
This is NTA International. Abuja University, yes, committed to qualitative education.
My name is Dr. Mrs. Oluwatobi Ayilara Adewale, the Director of College of Entrepreneurial and Vocational Studies, Oduduwa University, Tinubu. The College of Entrepreneurial and Vocational Studies started close to a decade ago as a result of the vision of the founder of the College of Entrepreneurial and Vocational Studies, who doubles as the founder of Oduduwa University, Tinubu, in person of His Royal Eminence Dr. Ramond Atobatele Adedoyin. And at that time, he thought of it that it would actually be good to empower students with special skills in addition to their academic knowledge. The founder of Oduduwa University, in person of Dr. Ramond Adedoyin, started very small as a home lesson, and we can see what it is today. We all know that getting a job in this country is extremely difficult, and he wants to imbibe little of how he started into these students. So when they are done in school, they will be job creators, not job seekers. Even while they are still in school, they can start their business as small as possible and grow it when they are done in school.
At Oduduwa University, we have the Center for Entrepreneurial Studies. And at the Center for Entrepreneurial Studies, we teach our students, before they graduate, we teach them several trades. We go out to look for experts who can train them on how to do tailoring, fashion designing, photography, and so on and so forth.
We have different services such as baking and confectionaries, where we teach them how to make cakes, decoration, pastries, ice cream, and the likes. We also have event planning, whereby they can plan events from the start to the end. We also have DSTV and CCTV installation. We have barbing. We have yard dressing. We also have photography and videography. We have mechanized farming. We have fish and poultry farming. We have electrical installation. We have aluminium installation. We have tiling. We have website design and graphic design. We also have tailoring and other many more programs.
Oduduwa University, yes, committed to qualitative education. This is NTA International.
I am there now. Are you sure this will work? Pastor, I can't miss this guy's lecture. Just keep your phone on so I can listen.
Today we're going to be discussing sleep disorders. What is the medical term for sleepwalking?
Sonambulism.
Correct. Get free Intel to Intel calls and experience HD quality conversations every time. Intel. Live more.
This is the network service of the NTA.
Contemporary times require practical skills to remain competitive and relevant in your organization. Therefore, take advantage of NTA TV College short proficiency courses to sharpen your professional skills. Basic Broadcast Accounting and Auditing. Date 19th April to 30th April 2021. 2 weeks. Audio Engineering, Operations and Maintenance. Date 19th April to 23rd April 2021. 1 week. Protocol, Event Management and Public Relations. Date 3rd May to 14th May 2021. 2 weeks. Intermediate Camera Operation Techniques. Date 17th May to 11th June 2021. 4 weeks. The course fee for the 4-week course is 100,000 naira per participant. The fee for the 2-week course is 80,000 naira, while the course fee for the 1-week course is 40,000 naira only. Accommodation inclusive. Venue for all the courses is the serene and secure environment of NTA TV College near Old Government House, Rayfield, Jos. For more inquiries, please call 0803-314-4383 or 0806-980-9807. NTA TV College, Jos. Training you to be the best you want to be.
What about you? They win with OneXBet. What about you? He wins with OneXBet. What about you? He wins with OneXBet. What about you? OneXBet, bookmaker company.
You won't go shake your body. Instead, they make it calm down. Eat the farm, say it's happy. You want to grow 6 packs in a day. I beg you not to pass your power. You want to show yourself, oh.
Whatever your size, find it with the new Airtel data plans. Dial *141# now to get the plan that suits you. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Life is a game. We are cool. We are trendy. Energy moves us. Sports is our game, our oxygen. Because with the round leather, we ball. We hustle. All over the land, north and south, we are united in the positive glory. We are encapsulated by HIFL. We live for the game. It's game time. Showing on NTA Network.
And thanks for joining us. Bid winners of the 57 marginal oil fields put up for allocation last year, and there are 161 of them have started to pay signature bonuses, the Honorable Minister of State Petroleum has disclosed. By the way, signature bonus is money paid to signify intentions to take over the marginal oil fields. Expectedly, the planned rehabilitation of the Port Harcourt refinery continues to generate quite a lot of interest, perhaps as many interest as the complex nature of rehabilitation itself. GMD Mele Kyari provides a very robust response to the concerns and issues spanning across its justification, viability, and worth, process, procedure, strategies, financing, etc., etc. CEO of a fellow national oil company visited the towers. No need to speculate what the discussion was. We have it all in the details. Thanks for joining us. I'm Akin Agbejule. This is Oil and Gas Forum.
The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Chief Timipre Silva, has disclosed that the federal government is targeting about $500 million in signature bonuses from the successful companies in the marginal fields bid rounds, which began on June 1, 2020. Chief Silva made this disclosure at the first quarter 2021 ministerial governance meeting in Lagos. He said the marginal fields bid round has been concluded with 161 companies winning the 57 marginal fields that were on offer, stressing that the exercise will boost the nation's economy. He noted that almost 50% of companies who won the bid for the marginal oil fields have paid their signature bonuses. Marginal field is any field that has reserves booked and reported annually to the Department of Petroleum Resources, DPR, and has remained unproduced for a period of 10 years. The Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, Malam Kyari, has described the recently approved rehabilitation exercise of the 210,000 barrels per day capacity Port Harcourt refinery as a worthy undertaking embarked upon after diligent consideration and in strict adherence to industry best standards. Speaking to reporters at the NNPC Towers Abuja recently, Kyari stated that in arriving at the decision to award the engineering, procurement and construction EPC contract to Tecnimont SPA of Milan, Italy, after a competitive bidding process, the corporation observed an unprecedented level of transparency and due diligence, which consists of a governance structure and tender process that included key independent external stakeholders, Ministry of Finance, Extractive Industry Transparency Initiative, Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission ICRC, Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Pengasan, and Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, NUPENG.
We have done something very different on the background of the fact that you have a government that allows us to play our role without any interference, without any steer or direction in terms of how we go about our procurement exercises. And that allowed us to involve every stakeholder that is necessary to ensure there's a complete openness and accountability of this process.
He explained that in terms of outlook and job scoping, the rehabilitation project is different from the routine turnaround maintenance which was last carried out on the Port Harcourt refinery 21 years ago.
But what we are doing is not just a turnaround maintenance. People typically relate this to turnaround maintenance. We are not doing turnaround maintenance. We are doing rehabilitation of this refinery. It's very, very different. It means that you are replacing certain major components. You are introducing some long lead items that ordinarily you wouldn't need to do when you are doing a turnaround maintenance. And there are major shifts in the status of the plant that you have to do, some upgrade that you have to do. Typically, you don't do that under a turnaround maintenance. And the end result is a product of a very, very transparent, open tender process that went through all the processes that are enshrined under the Bureau of Public Procurement Act.
On the financing for the project, the NNPC helmsman said that African Export-Import Bank, Afrexim Bank, as a reliable lender, has agreed to raise $1 billion towards the rehabilitation project. The GMD dismissed the contention by critics that the $1.5 billion approved for the rehabilitation of the Port Harcourt refinery was enough to build a brand new refinery, stressing that a new refinery will cost the nation between $7 billion and $12 billion.
Afrexim and banks of business, they don't go into businesses that they are not sure a return will come back from it. And part of the arrangement we have for this loan is for the loan to be repaid from the operations and the proceeds of this plant. This is very different, but we're not putting any additional repayment burden on the government. This plant will work. Typically, refineries make margin, and it's going to be anchored around the margin that these refineries will make.
On the choice of Tecnimont SPA as a contractor to handle the project, He explained that the company is a representative of the original refinery builder, ORB, and it's one of the top 10 global engineering, procurement, construction, installation, and commissioning EPCIC contractor in refineries.
What the government is seeking to do is to rehabilitate, and that also means changing significantly some of those equipment, bringing them up to date, so that at the end of the day, the capacity of the refinery, Port Harcourt refinery has a capacity of 210,000 barrels of oil, every day. Throw into the system about 10.4 million liters, of fuel. That will go a long way in reducing the level of import. So I think it's something that is well-intentioned, especially given the fact that even if you look at the funding, the Afrexim Bank is bringing close to $1 billion. Then the government is bringing the 550 million or thereabouts. And Afrexim Bank, as a credible institution, cannot put its foot out, cannot commit its funds in that kind of venture if it was not sure that it's going to be viable.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, has pledged support for Equatorial Guinea and Liberia in the areas of gas supply and capacity development, respectively. The Group Managing Director of NNPC, Malam Melekari, gave the pledge at separate business meetings with delegations from the National Oil Company of Equatorial Guinea, Sociedad Nacional Gas de Guinea Equatorial, Sonagas, and the National Oil Company of Liberia at the NNPC Towers, Abuja. Speaking while receiving the Sonagas team led by its Deputy Director General, Mr. Serapio Sima Ntutumu, the NNPC helmsman, said NNPC has grown gas production to unprecedented levels in the last 3 years and so is in position to extend gas supply to Equatorial Guinea to help save the country's industries.
It is also true that we have enormous gas resources that have not been monetized in this country. And of course, for us as a country now, we have never paid deep attention to gas as we have done in the last 2 to 3 years. So as a country, we have now done much more than we have done in previous many years around gas development and gas monetization. So we see it not just as help, but it's as an opportunity to deliver gas and fill the spaces in that plan.
Malam Kyari, who commiserated with the country on the recent gas explosion, said that a team would be set up to work out the commercial framework for the gas supply arrangement between the two parties. Speaking earlier, the Deputy Director General of Sonagas, Mr. Serapio Siman Tutumu, requested for the support of NNPC in the area of gas supply as the country's liquefied natural gas LNG plant was experiencing shortage of gas.
We seek for help. The help to empower the Equatorial Guinea gas industry because we are in decline. That decline would allow us to continue keeping our economy in function, keeping jobs, and then this gas is also related with our electricity.
In a related development, Malam Kyari expressed the willingness of NNPC to provide technical support to the National Oil Company of Liberia to enable it to develop the country's upstream petroleum sector.
We're here to help you and support you in any way possible, to help you review your fiscal system, guide you in the geology if it is necessary, and also build capacity for your staff as you deem necessary.
Earlier in her remarks, the President and Chief Executive Officer of National Oil Company of Liberia, Ms. Saifua May Gray, said her country wants to build relationship with Nigeria and leverage on NNPC's expertise across the petroleum industry value chain.
We wanted to come to talk to you about bilateral opportunities with the NNPC. As we know, you are the best in Africa, and Liberia being a frontier country, we are looking to see whether we could have opportunities with capacity building with the National Oil Company of Liberia.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, has set its target of hitting 5 billion cubic feet of gas production in the next 2 years would require input from chemical engineers and the manufacturing sector to create a robust demand for gas in the domestic market. The Group Managing Director of NNPC, Malam Kyari, stated this at a public lecture organized by the Federal Capital Territory Nasarawa State Chapter of the Nigerian Society of Chemical Engineers. The GMD, who was represented by the Chief Operating Officer, Gas and Power Engineer Yusuf Usman, said chemical engineers and the manufacturing sector have a lot to do to encourage domestic gas utilization in the country.
Today we are doing 1.6 BCM per day. We need the manufacturing industries to consume the gas that we are going to produce. Today we are embarking on one of the most aggressive pipeline infrastructure ever embarked on in Nigeria. And that is the Ajakuta, Abuja, Kaduna, Kano gas pipeline.
Speaking at the event, the president of the society, Engineer Saidu Mohammed, said that the theme of the lecture, manufacturing as the key engine for economic growth, was apt to address the issues of rising cost of production and commodities.
The able leadership of this society have thought it very wise for us to move from the advocacy stage to being a body that can provide practical solutions.
Speaking on behalf of the new fellows, the Chief Operating Officer upstream of the NNPC, Engineer Adoke Tombomeye, tasked chemical engineers to live up to their professional role as a solution provider in the society.
On behalf of the honorees, we appreciate the society for even recognizing that the little contribution we make to this society is recognized. It's a great honor for us. We are humbled. And as one of our GMDs will say, somebody already said it, the reward for hard work is more work.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, has said it would maintain the current ex-depot price of premium motor spirit petrol until the conclusion of ongoing engagement with the organized labor and other stakeholders. Addressing newsmen in Abuja, the Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division, Dr. Kenny Obateru, said the corporation, at the moment, was bearing the burden of importing refined petroleum products as the supplier of last resort to guarantee energy security for the nation. Shedding more light on the recent interview by the Group Managing Director, Malam Kyari, at the State House, Dr. Obateru stated that the NNPC has no intention to preempt ongoing engagement with labor by unilaterally increasing the ex-depot price of petrol, even though the corporation is bearing the burden of price differentials between the landing cost and pump price of petrol.
The NNPC has no plan to increase the ex-depot price of PMS at this point in time. There's an ongoing engagement with labor and other stakeholders, and until that is concluded, there's no plan to increase the ex-depot price of PMS. The GMD of NNPC, Malam Kyari, explained to Nigerians the burden that NNPC is carrying because of the differential between the landing cost of the product and what it is being sold at the pump. Notwithstanding that, there's no intention to increase the ex-depot price as at this point in time until the ongoing negotiation with labor and other stakeholders are concluded.
He said as a proactive organization, NNPC has made arrangements for robust stock of petroleum products in all its strategic depots across the country to keep the nation well supplied at all times. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, has announced an increase of 80.12% in trading surplus for the month of December 2020, which stands at 24.19 billion naira compared to the 13.43 billion naira surplus recorded in November 2020. This is contained in the December 2020 edition of the NNPC Monthly Financial and Operations Report, MFOR. Trading surplus or trading deficit is derived after deduction of the expenditure profile from the revenue in the period under review. According to the report, the operating revenue of the NNPC Group in December 2020 as compared to November 2020 increased by 33.44% or 137 billion naira to stand at 546.65 billion naira. Similarly, expenditure of the month increased by 27.54% or 112.81 billion naira to stand at 522.47 billion naira. The December 2020 expenditure as a proportion of revenue is 0.96% as against 0.97% in November 2020. The report indicated that the 80.12% increase is due mainly to the significant rise in the profit of NNPC's flagship upstreaming entity, the Nigerian Petroleum Development Company (NPDC), amid improved market fundamentals and strong global demand for crude oil. Other contributory factors to the robust trading surplus recorded in the month under review include the improved performance by the Nigerian Gas Marketing Company (NGMC), the Petroleum Products Marketing Company (PPMC), the National Engineering and Technical Company (NETCO), and Duke Oil Incorporated, which recorded noticeable gains in their operations.
Hello and welcome to the feedback segment of the program. My name is Abigail Ojobo. The federal government, in its avowed commitment to increase the nation's refining capacity, recently approved the sum of $1.5 billion for the rehabilitation of the Port Harcourt Refining Company Limited, PHRC. The old PHRC was commissioned in 1965 and the new one in 1989, with a combined capacity to refine 210,000 barrels of crude oil per day. The plant had its last turnaround maintenance in the year 2000. Our roving camera is aggregating the views of Nigerians about this move and how it will impact the nation's economy. Please come along.
To me, the investment is not a bad decision. It's not a bad decision at all. It's just what needs to be done to keep that thing working, even if you want to maintain it, if you want to run it, or even if you have to sell it. At least it's better to sell a moving vehicle, for example, than a vehicle that is not working. I think this is the first time we are going to get loan from an international bank for this purpose. So that means so many boxes would have been ticked. And I believe that Port Harcourt refinery, I believe that it will work this time around.
Now we have been importing these products for a long time, and imagine that we have trouble with other countries and they shut us out, from importation, or there are issues with importing and we cannot refine locally. That is a big national security issue. Another issue is the creation of jobs. We need to be able to create jobs for our people.
If the refinery is working and Dangote refinery is working well, it will reduce the pressure on our dollar. It will reduce the pressure on the importation of the products.
It's a welcome development. It's a good step at the right direction. Because Nigeria as a country, we don't have any refinery that is working in this country. For government to come out and say, okay, they have approved $1.5 billion US for the project, for the rehabilitation of the project, is a good one.
If we have modular refineries and then the government-owned refineries working, it creates, multiplier effects in terms of job creation and then security of product supply.
The leadership of the NNPC right now is trying to say, support us, believe in this project. This is a new turn, this is a new era. It is not going to be business as usual. And I know it is important that these refineries are rehabilitated. So when there is a proper rehabilitation, I do know that it will be beneficial to all Nigerians. I do know that we'll have more energy, and I do know that it is cheaper to maintain and rehabilitate than to say you want to build new ones. From the informed perspectives, the PHRC rehabilitation would guarantee energy security, reduce petroleum products imports, and lessen the amount of pressure on the nation's foreign exchange, amongst others. That's the much we can accommodate. Please sit back for the other segments of the program. Hello, welcome to this segment of the program. My name is Faith Ayuba. Did you know that the old Port Harcourt refinery was established in 1965 with the commissioning of a 35,000 barrels per stream day hydro-skimming plant and was later expanded to 60,000 barrels per stream day in 1972? The new Port Harcourt refinery was commissioned in 1989, bringing the combined processing capacity of the plant to 210,000 barrels per day and making it the biggest refinery in Nigeria. Did you know that the Port Harcourt refinery had its last turnaround maintenance in 2000, hence the need for the rehabilitation of the plant? The NNPC will adopt the operate and maintain model as a strategy in the execution of the rehabilitation project, which is also one of the key requirements by the lender. Did you also know that the objective of the rehabilitation of Port Harcourt refinery is to restore and operate the refinery at 90% of its nameplate capacity in 18 months? Now you know. Please don't go away. The rest of the program continues.
Hello and welcome to Global Crude Oil Outlook. Oil prices rose more than 1% as investors sought bargains following a brief slump, but the recovery was stunted by fears of a slow recovery in demand due to new pandemic lockdowns in Europe and the build-up in the United States of America crude stocks. Brent crude futures rose 69 cents or 1.1% to $61.48 per barrel after tumbling 5.9% and hitting a low of $60.50. The United States of America West Texas Intermediate WTI crude futures climbed 63 cents or 1.1% to $58.39 per barrel, having lost 6.2% and touched a low of $57.32. Meanwhile, the Market Intelligence Department of NNPC's London office reported that Germany, Europe's biggest oil consumer, extended its lockdown to April 18, and Chancellor Angela Merkel urged citizens to stay at home for 5 days over the Easter holiday. Human rights sanctions on China imposed by the United States, Europe, and Britain, which prompted retaliatory sanctions from Beijing, also added to market concerns. That's it on this segment of the program. I am Owigo Okolo.
That's our package. We hope you found the stories very informative. Plenty of reassurances from GMD Mele-Kyari, especially about the Port Harcourt refinery, and reassurances in the days ahead. NNPC wishes you a great week. Bye.
Fathers. My advice to these young people is please do not take us back to those harrowing days. You probably do not know what it is.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation together.
This is the network service of the NTA.
Make correct money.
Before God, I'm come Abuja, Cambridge.
So you will
making money this year.
This year.
You making money this year. This year.
This year.
But you see, like me like this, say I be woman. They bomb every year. I will bomb person fair like you this year. One person black like me next year. Every year I could just drop am. You know hard now. All this waiting days. Be able with the drink for belly, be pass belly on the kind of.
No sir. Please go.
Yeah, this is from the Abuja.
Let me see back home. Please, can you hurry up? I'm hungry. That's Gary and right? Okay. Here's the money. You can keep the change. And I hope the food is as nice as you say. Because me, I don't eat rubbish.
Enjoy your food.
Of course, that's why I paid for it. Alright, see you then.
Hey! No, sir, you don't see something. Hey! I'm finished. I'm finished. I had to eat rubbish. And you have never cooked rubbish before. No, those children. Die! You're looking at why if you say now here you won't come and deliver. Clothes, you know, Sabi wear. Tomorrow night, I go marry your husband. I can say, my husband is cheating on me. My husband is cheating on me. Food, you know, Sabi cook. Food, you know, Sabi cook. Now you make me say my machine no bring you luck again. Ha! Oh! Abuja! You got people who come to Abuja, or you got people they stay for Abuja. I beg you. King of the road, make a hit road. I can't waste my time with this one. Say, I leave change for you. How much be the change? 15 naira. Now you should even speak English on top 15 naira. Huh? You can help the change. On top 15 naira. Can't collect your money. Can't give me this thing now. Change. Change, you don't know if you buy fuel. I bet Martina, you find me some places next time. They know where they carry me from. When they carry me come here, they see rubbish.
Your temperature dey okay very well, 36.5. Thank God. Make I check your temperature. Okay.
Auntie Nurse, this one wey multivitamins plenty everywhere. Wetin dey rain?
Na COVID-19 dey rain o. No tell me say you no dey take all these vitamins.
I no dey take.
Why now?
So I no know now.
Vitamins is very good for our body. We dey take am boost our immune system.
Okay.
Abeg dey take o.
I go dey take. Let me say na wey dey medicals na dey enjoy everywhere o. Na now dey pack all the whole money.
Money?
Yes na.
Chicken money. Na God we dey work for.
So na to dey serve our country with our minds na we dey so.
Wait, you know say if we dey take BP, we no dey talk so that we go fit get your correct BP.
No problem. Make I come keep quiet.
Oh, your BP good well.
Wetin be the number?
Na just 100/80.
Thank God o.
Be like say you dey take your medication serious.
I dey take am now. Wetin I go do with you by my side? I must take am.
Abeg, vitamins no dey use am play o.
As you don talk am now.
E good during this period o. Dey take am. Abeg.
Madam Nurse.
Ego, long time.
A long time. How you dey? See as you dey shine.
Ego, see you. You check yourself for mirror before you come clinic.
How now?
I dey follow your back o. Make I dey shine like you.
Okay, is my COVID test ready?
Yes. Okay, it's ready. Let me. Wear your mask now. Na this one we dey talk. Una dey carry una mask waka because of COVID-19. And they say if una dey cough, una do am like this, make the virus no spread. I beg you. Even you, sef, you no wear your mask.
I was rushing.
Why now?
I was rushing, sorry.
I go carry one give you for here. I get.
Thank you.
Which country you say you dey even travel?
Europe.
Europe?
Yes.
Hey, you go greet your president for me, or whether he name na Biden or Biden, anyone.
Okay, it's Biden, and I'm going to Europe, not US. That one is US.
Oh.
Hey, Madam Nurse, this new vaccine that is in Nigeria now, do you people do it now?
No.
Okay.
I think in 2 weeks' time, government go announce, make everybody come they take.
Okay.
And when you ready, you know say I don't already book your meal. I will call you.
I trust you now. I trust you.
Come on, now what you go buy for me if you go there?
What do you want, Madam Nurse? Waiting.
Perfume. As you just come enter here, everywhere just the scent. All this messy don't come out. I want to the scent like you.
It's designers now. It's designers.
Oh, designers.
Hey, don't worry, I'll get it for you.
Okay. What if you say not use your mask? They play or wear them. They put your hand sanitizer. They put for your bag.
I don't hear. Hurry.
Greet your president from whether na Biden. Tell her say Auntie Naija of the saluter. No go fast, come well, oh. No go they eat everything when you see, oh. Hey, go.
Auntie Nurse, come on. You said they give us.
You too ask questions.
Waiting now. No be government talk say na only some places they don't agree say what they give us. And me, I know say this your pharmacy, the clinic sef. You know they are among. Me, I know.
Now people like you go university. Yes, university no go through you. For your certificate, they're supposed to write learning, no character.
Auntie Nurse, why you dey abuse me now? Na question I just ask. And they don't talk and say, they say they ask question. You know they lost. What do I do now?
Anyway, make I explain something give you. You see these test kits when you dey see for here so.
I dey see them.
Now inside government hospital dem bring am come for us. Now people when they work for them, smuggle and come sell for us. Now free for them. Oh. Now for top and we too they make us small money join.
Oh wow.
For the same arrangement, I don't they arrange get vaccine for our people too.
Hey.
For here, for just a small token.
Hey, Jesus.
What's it now? Now we do. Any which way now we.
These are the people painting Nigeria black. God, how do I report this woman without giving myself away? I'm sure there are strong people behind her because her confidence no be here. Oh. God, help me. Madam Nurse, give me my drugs now.
Now which one did they take that time?
Give me all the ones where you know say you dey give. Then also, these multivitamins where you dey talk about. Give me one, make I try now. Whether it will boost my immune system.
Okay.
Baby, say you there for me. As I there for you. Oh, no, no. Your boy for there. Nothing I can't do, my baby, my baby.
You can now get points on MTN calls and exchange your points for free data. Dial *406# to join.
So let's start your baby's journey in comfort with the Huggies Happy Home Bonanza. Win your baby a beautiful new home, a brand new car, up to $1 million in cash rewards, shopping vouchers, and lots of instant airtime. Just buy any special Huggies pack. Scratch the promo sticker on pack to start winning. Buy now and win to bring your baby up in comfort. Huggies for all night dryness and comfort.
In my house, we may look alike, but we are very different individuals. Everybody believes their way is best. That's why Golden Penny Pasta is our favorite meal.
Golden Penny Pasta, made with durum wheat, is tasty, nutritious, a source of protein and fiber, and non-sticky. so you can cook, serve, and eat your pasta just the way you like it. With Golden Penny Pasta, your way is best.
It's okay. Well, the cocoa now is that how will I begin to make money from this COVID business? So, see what we'll do. You can be supplying me now since you saw it. You'll supply me in bulk, plenty new, and I'll be selling them here.
Hey,
how about that one?
Auntie Segi.
Ma buro.
For sure, now trust me.
But
the thing be say, this business is more than what you are seeing. Yes, now.
So for me,
there is more in this business. The truth is that I don't chop better money for this face mask. Hey, you see this one? I customize this one for 50th birthday for one of my customers.
See, it's beautiful.
See how it's fine.
See the way you packaged it.
Yes,
but what's it going to concern birthday with the...
Oh, plenty things. You know, say our Niger people like Owambe. Owambe no they finish for our double. Party day, party night,
morning, afternoon.
So you customize them for them. If they even like, I write their name. I put that picture.
True.
Whether na wedding, you know that kind of like Segi where the Omotola.
Why you not going to use Efe where it's my name you will use inside?
Oh, yeah, but you know where to follow. Najoko, see my happy tone, Najoko.
I saw it for you.
You know, so the thing be. So for you now, you go talk to your customers. People they come buy in bulk. You say, I can make ashwebi for you with your face mask.
And you know, they say wherever people are gathered, you must use face mask.
Especially for wedding hall. Where we say few people not supposed to do the wedding. So now there.
Once they come like this, now to say, ashwebi day, we'll use it and do face mask. But if you don't come since last week. You slack small. See, I don't know how our people do it, but last week, I sold 4 sets of ashwebi, 4 different sets, and each one of them bought for about 500.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Auntie Segi, you don't tell me since now.
You be you where I see you. Where I see you.
But you know late. You never late. All you need to do is talk to your customers. You tell them say, I can make face masks.
Tell them go.
My own are to the maker. Your own are to the seller.
Now you will not come since. You see now where you don't come. This message when you send this thing, go stay one place. This message when you send me so.
You know say our people like party. One no they finish. Whether they send us or they no send us.
Whether they send us. I mean they don't send us. Ashwebi, we go do party. We go do.
You know you will see this Biden inauguration. Our people they try. So that they do face masks for Biden.
Bro, where you there?
You know they carry last.
At all.
And you know if you never do party, our body know them. You know they good.
You know they well.
You know they well.
But that's what makes us who we are.
Yes.
We're happy people. Happy people's capital.
Yes.
The party capital of the world. That's who we are.
Yes, So, Auntie Segi, I go leave all these ones for you. I go leave them for you. You go say.
You have done well. Leave this one as a sample. No so I can attend to my other customers.
Say for us, make we make better money.
You are telling me.
No,
you are telling me as if you don't know me.
Because I won't reach my shop. Make I try.
I'm even expecting one customer.
Okay. No wahala.
Not all washing powders are the same. Sunlight adds bursts of freshness to cleaning power to give you Sunlight 2-in-1 for sensational cleaning and freshness that lasts. Sunlight 2-in-1 sensational cleaning with burst after burst of freshness. Introducing Sunlight with luxurious oud fragrance.
In my house, we may look alike, but we are very different individuals. Everybody believes their way is best. That's why Golden Penny Pasta is our favorite meal.
Golden Penny Pasta, made with durum wheat, is tasty, nutritious, a source of protein and fiber, and non-sticky. So you can cook, serve, and eat your pasta just the way you like it. With Golden Penny Pasta, your way is best.
So let's start your baby's journey in comfort with the Huggies Happy Home Bonanza. Win your baby a beautiful new home, a brand new car, up to $1 million in cash rewards, shopping vouchers, and lots of instant airtime. Just buy any special Huggies pack. Scratch the promo sticker on pack to start winning. Buy now and win to bring your baby up in comfort. Huggies for all night dryness and comfort.
You're back. That was so fast.
This is why they call me champion. When you're working with Green Bus Logistic, nothing is stop us for road, man. Green Bus Logistic driver, king of the road. You don't be stop us now. No traffic, everything. Zoom, zoom, zoom. We'll be kissing my cow. So I'm the king of the road.
You like praising yourself too much. I hope my customer was satisfied.
Oh, shit. That your girl. Hey! Hey, we mama no beat craze come off our body. The one with the pain yourself for liver, come and see that girl supposed they cook for her house. Suppose they cook for her mama, they cook for her family. But no, to the bye outside. No this generation. Hey.
No, sir. Are you alright? That is my client. That is my client you're talking about. She pays me the money, I cook the food, and I pay you too from there. I hope you're not rude to her.
Me? Rude? Professional? You didn't work with Green Boss? No possible. I feel still like you. As you like this, I feel no like you. I will still deliver. Come on.
Better.
See, Odi. How? If you see this girl, one tiny thing will be like cigar. Eh? How? Close nowhere. I'm not tired, she's something. She just come out. She don't get choice now. Hey, see, I have this for this cat. I had to eat rubbish. Oh, nonsense. Why didn't just go because she just paid money. It's still drop change for me. That's why I just go now.
So what did you say to her?
Say to her, go, pressure. Two answer. One. My mouth, I said, oh, enjoy your food. But for my mind, I made that yam was sweet, eh? Made the yam. You talk, you know if you see one, but they can't come on COVID-19 people.
Just leave it there. Leave it there in your mind. Eh?
I don't really live on. I don't live on. But waiting, I imagine for my mind. Now, how dare we fine like you? Just with the kitchen, they cook. How dare we just there like you, no fit cook? To come here, say, no, we teach her how to cook, she no fit come. Tomorrow now. Oh, my husband not with me for another woman. You know what I'm saying? Through Belle, now we're too short. Now we say, oh, this girl will defy sharp. Now, through Belle, woman, they take what kind of man.
Back well, Joe. See, let me tell you. A man can go into the kitchen and cook, just like a woman can. Agreed. In the past, it was considered the woman's domain, but not anymore.
See, Modi, something no fit change. All those where the road, you know, say women now they propose to man, but you never carry man go say, I want to come and pay good price. Must stay bride price. The way they go carry food, go sir, or the one where your friends they carry you go. You don't ever see the pastor or man of God. You come after say, now you can kiss your groom. You know the city pastor just there say, now you can kiss your bride. Kiss your bride. Something no fishy.
You know what? I cannot be bothered with you at this time. We still have others, you know. See, 4 more others to go with.
Modi, who order all these things? Who's want to finish our kitchen? Or on a party or CBN? I'm going to say now 5. Share. I after Green Bus Logistic business. You know how we do it? That's what we party. Pull off. Nossa, sharp.
Is this your hair?
Go party.
They'll throw you out.
We'll be like on my leg. They'll give me mic. I go to sing. Thank God I got the lead.
Okay.
They'll
throw you out of that place.
Now me go even shop our food pass. See, Moji, now me go shop our food pass.
You know what? Please just go to the kitchen. Tell Charity.
This is NTA International.
GoTV dey your side as times dey tough so. We don see your loyalty and we appreciate the journey wey we don waka together. That na why GoTV dey sama you with better upgrade to the next package as you stay connected or reconnect. We dey your side with correct entertainment. You fit save up to 75% because na we. Na to stay connected or reconnect, GoTV go upgrade you at no extra cost. Wow! Stay connected with GoTV self-service payment options. Visit GoTVAfrica.com to gather more information about this better discount and our payment options. GoTV dey your side. Enjoy GoTV Wow Awoof. GoTV. Live it, love it.
This vaccine is safe and it has been certified safe and usable by NAFTA.
Welcoming you to your weekend for today.
Arise, O compatriots, it's time to use our voice.
Beyond 6 packs.
Bills.
Pay the bills, keep paying my telephone bills, keep paying my bills.
Welcome to Gallery.
Me and my paddies.
London for what?
London for medicine.
Medicine for what?
Medicine for coffee.
Are you sickness?
To our illness. Welcome to Gist Zone.
All right, my name is the Eselucien Wego One. Ona nyokoko nyonyo.
Nigeria. I am Becky Marujamu. Welcome to Newsline. To our Christian viewers, happy Palm Sunday. It's the Holy Week, and yes, wishing you all the blessings of the season. Topping the stories we've compiled for this episode is the alleged murder of a young lady by her husband's first wife. You will be hearing from the man himself and the family of the girl who was allegedly killed. Another tragic domestic incident we shall be reporting on involves a woman and her stepson. It's viciousness on many levels, I tell you. And in our first segment, the events will come with the frills we are familiar with. In that segment, we have a befitting turbaning, an enchanting wedding, and a majestic durbar, and a delightful boat regatta. Sounds great already. So I expect you to stay and savor tonight's bumper offering. Can't wait to see you later after the news by Claire Adilabu Abdul Razak. Greetings, my dear friend and esteemed colleague.
Talking about enchanting wedding, Becky, you do look enchanting tonight. All right, thank you. We'll get back to you later after the news. Hello and welcome to Abuja. We'll begin from Lagos, where the gridlock at the Akpakpa corridor as a result of yard occupancy and congestion in accessing the ports in Lagos necessitated a recent notice of non-receipt of cargoes by the Nigerian Ports Authority for the next 14 days. Stakeholders are therefore deliberating on how to achieve a more organized system to conduct export of goods. Imolayo Tokede Ogunfowora has the details.
Samuel Adegoju and Mohammed Daisk are exporters among other representatives from customs, terminal and barge operators, shippers, and freight forwarders present at the meeting. They took turns to identify some of the challenges they face while assessing the port, thereby making appropriate recommendations.
Actually, we are losing. We lost millions of dollars.
There's an opportunity to have two inspection agents, different ports, for different.
The executive director of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, Olusegun Awolowo, stated that the federal government has been making frantic efforts on an holistic approach to ensure business activities are seamless and devoid of liabilities that can make doing business in Nigeria a nightmare.
The federal government is also concentrating more on roads, on the rail. So we will now be able to move goods by rail as we were doing in the past in Nigeria.
We're going to do an advertisement which would now seek in expressions of interest for owners of such facilities that are big enough to be designated as export processing terminals. And those locations will be inspected by the agencies, and those locations will be where you can have your warehouse, do your stuffing, do your consolidation, and inspections will be done there, and everything will be sealed in that premise.
It is expected that a seamless process on how exporters will get their containers with genuine and correct documents to the port will be achieved. In Lagos, Imole Ayotokede Ogunfowora, NTA News.
And in Calabar, attempts to expand operations in Nigeria's maritime sector appear to be paying off with the maiden loading of a chartered 7,000 metric tons capacity vessel from the Calabar port. This development is in line with the directive of the President Muhammadu Buhari administration to ensure that Nigeria ranks among top 100 countries of the world on the ease of doing business by 2023. More in Leo Ajom reports.
The Calabar port has for some years now suffered economic setbacks occasioned by the challenge of low depth and narrow channels. These challenges, which also contributed to the congestion of the Apapa port, made the federal government to prioritize the restructuring of the nation's seaports. Today, the Calabar port is not only a beneficiary of the gesture, it is set for an increase in its operations, although it is still awaiting dredging. The chartered 7,000 metric tons capacity vessel from Calabar to the United States of America, stakeholders say, will not only decongest the Apapa port, but it also has prospects to open the economy of the South-South region of the country towards improved contribution to international trade and job creation potential.
We are expecting trade to grow significantly, and based on that, our logistics and multimodal transportation system needs to be as efficient to ensure that we get the maximum value for those expected growth in trade.
I want to call on the federal government, please let the dredging of Calabar Port be expedited. Let whatever legal issues, please, be settled.
All that's noted, the Calabar Port will also enhance the federal government's diversification drive while promoting non-oil exports. For the Cross River State government, the prospects of having the Calabar Port function in this capacity are enormous and appeal for expedited action by the federal government in the dredging of the Calabar Channel. Stakeholders stated their readiness to attract investors to the Calabar Port. In Calabar, Maureen Leo Ajom, NTA News.
And the Nigerian Navy says it has expanded its policy and operations to effectively tackle insecurity in the maritime space. Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Anwar Gambo, who said this during his familiarization tour of units and establishments at the Eastern Naval Command in Calabar, notes that the action is in line with President Muhammadu Buhari's order to restore the nation's security. Justina Etten reports.
The familiarization visits took the Chief of Naval Staff to units and establishments, which include the Nigerian Navy Secondary School, Akbabuyo, the sites for the proposed Naval War College, the Nigerian Navy Reference Hospital, and more. Addressing officers and ratings, the Chief of Naval Staff harps on professionalism and integrity, warning that the Nigerian Navy will not hesitate to sanction personnel who collude with criminal elements to perpetrate oil thefts, kidnapping, economic sabotage, and other crimes within the maritime space.
We intend to fill the gaps where we observe operationally, because our operations are very dynamic, and we re-strategize as the challenges vary.
The Chief of Naval Staff also disclosed that the Nigerian Navy will ensure the upgrade of facilities and equipment at the reference hospital, as well as capacity building of personnel.
I shall ensure our engineering personnel are availed requisite training, facility upgrade and repair kits to enable them undertake basic first-line maintenance.
The Chief of Naval Staff also reiterates that personnel who excel in their duties will be rewarded. In Calabar, Justina Etam, NTA News.
And the Nigeria Governors Forum has described as malicious and libelous the publication of 26th of March 2021 by Sahara Reporters online newspaper tagged exclusive for the demand of 10% and the 159 billion naira refund to Paris Club. The forum dispelled the purported story, which is intended to smear the image of its chairman and governor of Ekiti State, Dr. Kade Fayemi, and demanded retraction of the fake news within 24 hours and a tender of an apology, or it will be compelled to seek legal redress in the law court. NGF says the baseless and unfounded as well as untrue tale would have been ignored, but for the purpose of setting the record straight, it becomes necessary to react to the publication and regrets the lack of factuality in the medium claims. And the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, says 2 towers along the Damaturu-Maiduguri 330 kV transmission line has again been vandalized by insurgents, less than 24 hours after power supply was restored to Maiduguri, the Borno State capital. The incident, which occurred in the early hours of Saturday, again cut power supply to Maiduguri and its environs. TCN says this time the insurgents chain bombed 2 other towers, T152 and T153, along the same line route of the other incident that left Maiduguri and environs without power supply for 2 months. TCN assures that it will, however, continue to do all it can to ensure power supply is restored to the affected areas. And in continuation of ongoing investigation into the reported attack and attempted murder of the governor of Benue State, Samuel Otom, A special investigation task force set up by the Inspector General of Police, IGP Mohammed Adamu, has arrived to Makurdi, the Benue State capital. The team, led by Deputy Commissioner of Police, Abba Kiari, consists of operatives from the Tactical Investigation Units of the Force, Intelligence Bureau, and other experienced crack detectives. Is expected to take over and consolidate all ongoing investigation into the incident. The team is also expected to investigate all angles of the reported attack with a view to ensuring that all persons empirically linked to the incident are apprehended and brought to book. Unprovoked killings of security operatives, Meanwhile, operatives of the Nigerian Police Force have arrested 16 suspects for complicity in a series of violent attacks on security operatives and facilities in some states of the Federation, particularly in the southeastern part of Nigeria. In a statement by the Force Public Relations Officer, CP Frank Mba, the arrest is part of efforts to bring into justice persons responsible for the emerging trend of attacks on security personnel and wanton destruction of security facilities and operational assets. The police says the suspects will be charged to court as soon as investigations are concluded. And today is Palm Sunday. In Christendom, it marks the triumphant entry into Jerusalem and also precedes Easter Sunday, also known as the last day of Lenten season. Charles Alpha reports that NTA Chapel of Resurrection was not left out in the celebration, honoring Jesus Christ's victorious entry into Jerusalem.
And triumph over death, Christians regard and devote themselves to reflecting on the sacrifices Christ made to save the world. At NTA Chapel of Restoration, Abuja, Palm Sunday was marked with the traditional procession with members taking the light walk before commencing service. Vicar of the chapel, Reverend Canon Jacob Ibiatan, in a sermon on walking worthy of God's calling, admonished Christians to strive to honor and please God in everything they do. He told them to make frantic effort to serve their Creator and learn to demonstrate patience, humility, gentleness, and love. The triumphant entry of Jesus Christ into Jerusalem, the vicar re-echoed, broke every barrier and bondage and advised Christians to look up to God for help, no matter the circumstance. In Abuja, Charles Alpha, NTA News.
Now, learning the recitation of the glorious Quran, understanding its meanings, as well as practicing its teachings, are easy ways of addressing social ills and criminal activities bedeviling many parts of the country. Sultan of Sokoto Mohammed Saad Abubakar III stated this at the closing ceremony of the 35th edition of the National Quranic Recitation Competition in Kano. Abdullahi Mustafa was there.
Muhammad Awal of Zamfara State and Nusaiba Shuaib Ahmad of Kano are the overall winners of male and female categories of the 35th edition of the National Quranic Recitation Competition held in Kano. This earned them 2.5 million naira each as star prizes from Kano State Government and slots to participate in international competitions. Sultan of Sokoto Muhammad Saad Abubakar III commended the young recitation champions for their excellent performance and admonished parents to encourage their children towards learning and mastering the glorious scripture.
And what we will do as leaders, inshallah, will continue to support this Musabaqa to grow stronger and stronger and stronger.
We have made a giant stride in this direction, where the administration established the first ever Kano State Quranic and Islamia School Management Board.
Borno and Plateau are among states that won in lower categories of the competition. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
And President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, has sent his best wishes to former Governor of Lagos State, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, on the occasion of his 69th birthday on Monday. In a statement by a special advisor on media and publicity to the President of the Senate, Olawuniyi, Senator Lawan joined family members, friends, and political associates of the national leader of the All Progressives Congress, APC, to rejoice with him for marking the day in good health and high spirits, observing Tinubu's consistency in guiding the ruling party along a progressive path for the growth of Nigeria's democracy. Also, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, has celebrated with Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu on his 69th birthday. In a statement, Gbajabiamila was full of praises for the Jagaban of Borogu Kingdom, noting that as a foremost progressive Democrat, Tinubu's doggedness, determination, and resilience, as well as commitment, makes him one Nigerian that carries everyone along, earning himself many positives. He prayed that Almighty Allah continues to preserve the life of this great man and give him the wisdom and good health to continue the work of nation building. And the All Progressives Congress has described former Lagos State Governor and national leader of the party, Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu, as a man of excellence, a true Democrat and great leader. In a statement, Governor Mai Malabuni, a national chairman, caretaker and extraordinary convention planning committee of the APC, says Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has no doubt dedicated his life to the service of humanity, promotion of good governance and growth and development of democracy in Nigeria. The statement adds that as a leader, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is passionate about the future of the people as a developmental Democrat and a proponent of due process and rule of law. Also, APC Governors Forum has joined all Nigerians to celebrate the birthday of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Chairman of APC Governors Forum and Kebbi State Governor Abubakar Atiku Bogudu, in a statement, commended the selfless leadership of Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu to a united, prosperous Nigeria, noting that under the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari, in partnership with many other leaders of the party, including Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself, the politics of Nigeria is passing through fundamental changes towards instituting enduring progressive governance in the country. A national leader of the APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has advocated the need for Nigerians to unite towards addressing the nation's developmental challenges rather than promoting ethnic, religious, or sectional interests. He was speaking during a courtesy visit to the Emir of Kano, Aminu Aro Bayero. Abdullahi Mustafa tells us more.
Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu is in Kano on a two-day visit to attend his 69th birthday colloquium and interact with people of the state with a view to promoting national cohesion.
To sustain a bridge of peace, prosperity, harmony, tolerance.
National interest, he stressed, should be prioritized by every patriotic citizen for the country to achieve its development goals. Emir Amina Ado Bayero commended the bridge builder role of the APC leader, describing him as a true patriot and statesman. Thereafter, Senator Tinubu inaugurated the remodeled office complex of the Kano State Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission. He also inspected other mega projects of the Ganduja administration, including bridges, ultra-modern cancer treatment facility, and the Aliko Dangote Skills Acquisition Center. Senator Bola Tinubu enjoined people of Kano to continue to support Governor Ganduja's move to take the state to the next level. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
And the All Progressives Congress, APC stalwarts and other stakeholders from the South geopolitical zone have converged on Asaba, the Delta State capital, for a review of the party's constitution to reposition it for better service delivery. Rosemary Omani reports that the Deputy Senate President, Ovio Mwagege, was the chief host of the event.
In the interest of the All Progressives Congress, APC, the who is who in the South-South zone of the party, the Minister of Transport, Rotimi Amechi, represented by the former APC acting national chairman, Chief Victor Giadom, as well as the national chairman of the Constitution Review Committee, Professor Tahir Mamman, deliberated for a better and stronger working document for the party. The stakeholders, identifying some loopholes in the party's constitution under review, made some amendments. They say end result is a constitution which will put to rest issue of disputes and serve as a role model to all parties world over.
The decision of the national leadership of our party to review the party's constitution was born out of the imperative of receiving contributions at the grassroots level in order to come up with a working document that will not only be beneficial to all members of the party but provide equal opportunities for all.
We all need to know, from the local government, states, up to the federal level, every person, as you are able to understand, know what is the Bible, what is the Quran, you should also, members should also be conversant with the provisions of the Constitution.
There was an interactive session where party faithful did not only make recommendations for the amendments, but also drew the attention of the chief host and the national chairman of the Constitution Review Committee to some ill practices at some state levels. The amendment exercise is expected to be rounded off before the next national convention of the party in Asaba. I am Rosemary Omani, NTA News.
And it's time for sports, and 25 goals scored in Nigeria's top domestic football league. Let's join Amanzi Marcos for the details.
It was a harvest of goals Sunday at the Lafayette Township Stadium, with Nasarawa United winning 5-3 against Abia Warriors in the biggest win of Week 18. Lobby Stars lost away to Aqua United in Uyo 3-0, as Plateau United earned all 3 points in a 2-1 victory over Enugu Rangers in Jos. Kwara United got the only away win in Katsina, with the home side Katsina United losing 1-2. The strict quarantine rules in Australia, which has helped the country maintain a low COVID-19 infection rate, means that world number 1 Ashley Barty may not return home until after the end of the 2021 tennis season. She was speaking after a 6-3, 6-2 victory over Yelena Ostapenko at the Miami Open, where she is the defending champion. Obviously, with the quarantine laws in Australia, we do our 2 weeks quarantine in a hotel, and there is actually not a lot of space in the season to be able to do that just to get home for the 2 weeks. Meanwhile, British boxer Dillian Whyte is on his way to having a shot at the heavyweight world title after knocking out the Russian Alexander Povetkin in a rematch decided in Gibraltar. The impressive record of the Russian is now dented the more, having only lost to Anthony Joshua and Vladimir Klitschko in 39 fights. The result is also an answer to critics who had questioned the timing of the rematch after Povetkin knocked out Whyte in August 2020. I am just sad I didn't get it finished in the first round, said Whyte, but his promoter is happy all the way. He manhandled Povetkin. He battered him from pillar to post. We are back where we wanted to be. The aim remains the same, for Dillian to have a shot at the World Championship. The sports update, Manzi Marcus, NTA News.
And that concludes the news from Abuja. Always remember to connect with NTA and stand against rape and rapists. Becky will be right back after these commercial messages. Let's
go, guys. Babe. Yeah? Would you please turn on your hotspot? Okay, there you go. My lady. Play this ball. Hey, hold this guy down. Password, please. 0808. Babe. Yeah. You have a message. From who? Maybe. Read it out now. Read it out to my ears.
Free your mind with Airtel Smart Talk and enjoy calls to all networks at a flat rate of 11 kobo per second. Dial *315# to join.
Fine girl. Can I have your phone, man?
Airtel, the smartphone network.
So let's start your baby's journey in comfort with a Huggies Happy Home Bonanza. Win your baby a beautiful new home, a brand new car, up to $1 million million in cash rewards, shopping vouchers, and lots of instant airtime. Just buy any special Huggies pack. Scratch the promo sticker on pack to start winning. Buy now and win to bring your baby up in comfort. Huggies for all night dryness and comfort.
We just having a good time, and I'm feeling so good.
Where you did? I dey come now. You go see me now. You go.
Call your party and everybody, yeah. Make we start to the corner.
Where you did now? You go see me now.
Everybody they dance.
Where you did now? Oh you go see me now. I'm fine, sir. Even me, I surprised.
Hey, where you at?
Hello, how are you?
Tell us one truth nobody knows.
I like to steam it from my mama's pot.
Glow, the best data plans in town. Dial *777#.
The Federal Ministry of Women Affairs is partnering with Prime Unique Women Initiative for a 2-day workshop designed to further boost the concerted efforts of the ministry in addressing domestic violence. The program is targeted at First Ladies, female permanent secretaries, commissioners of women affairs, wives of local government chairmen, and stakeholders. Date 30th to 31st March 2021. Venue, Merit House, Maitama, Abuja. Time 9 a.m. You are all invited. Dame Pauline Talen, OFR, Minister of Women Affairs, announcer.
You won't go shake your body. Instead, they make it calm down. It a form say sabi. You want to grow 6 packs in a day. I beg you not to pass your power. You want to show yourself.
Whatever your size, find it with the new Airtel data plans. Dial *141# now to get the plan that suits you. Airtel, the smartphone network.
In my house, we may look alike, but we are very different individuals. Everybody believes their way is best. That's why Golden Penny Pasta is our favorite meal.
Golden Penny Pasta, made with durum wheat, is tasty, nutritious, a source of protein and fiber, and non-sticky. So you can cook, serve, and eat your pasta just the way you like it. With Golden Penny Pasta, your way is best.
Confidence is important in life's little moments. Strong teeth can help, even if they get her into trouble sometimes. A great smile is useful to break the ice, and making friends is easier when you know you have fresh breath. I give my family confidence with Pepsodent Triple Protection 123. Its antibacterial action formula gives them cavity protection, white teeth, and fresh breath. The confidence of 3 toothpaste in 1. Pepsodent Triple Protection 123.
Moments to laugh with Indomie. Moments to learn with Indomie. Moments to care with Indomie. Moments to share with.
Super Moms create special family moments with their love. Celebrate these delicious moments with Indomie noodles. Indomie noodles, tasty nutrition, good for you.
It's an action-filled life we live. From the moment we hit the streets, the mission starts. No be by who first starts the waka, but now which person finish am.
No go dead on yourself.
So, no matter what it takes to finish the mission, fire on.
Super commando. Oh yeah, get your own.
Because you are the hero you have been waiting for.
Fire on with Super Commando Energy Drink.
Energy to fire on. Super Commando Energy Drink.
Welcome back, and now to those special reports I promised earlier. Some nations depend on tourism as a major source of revenue, and Nigeria is also blessed with natural and man-made tourist destinations. It is gratifying to note that government relentlessly empowers the creative industry, which is connected to tourism. In line with this, Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed was in Nasarawa State to have a feel of the people and what more can be done to promote tourism.
Waterfalls is a waterfall found in the central region of Nigeria. It is among the highest waterfalls in the country and significant among Africa's waterfalls when the total height covered by the waterfall is considered. During its descent from Jos Plateau State, the water drops a total height of about 150 meters. This drop is higher compared to the more popular Victoria Falls, which drops a height of around 108 meters during its descent. Driving to Foreign Rural Waterfalls will take you through the bustling town of Akwanga. 36 kilometers away is the Wamba town that hosts this magnificent waterfall. At the border here, the people were on hand to welcome the minister.
Let me talk to you. Honorable Minister, now Information and Culture. Yazo daga Abuja. Saboda aka kunga mun mun wuce ku riga ku sa abun da gwamnati tana so ta yi.
Driving past small villages with quite some interesting names like Sisimbaki. From Sisimbaki, the road that leads to the waterfall is quite a rough one, and you get to have the feel of an adventure. The host town is surrounded by hills and some kinds of thick vegetation. It is definitely one that looks friendly, but getting to the waterfall could be amazing.
It's important for us to invest in infrastructure so that these wonders of the world will be made available to everyone. We can't do, the government can't do it alone. And I want to take the opportunity to also invite the private sector to invest in building infrastructure that will lead to places like this. It might be very heavy infrastructure at the beginning, but at the end of the day, such infrastructure will be worth it.
For others on the minister's entourage, this is their take.
You have come to see for yourself, and I'm sure that what you're seeing is quite exciting, quite intriguing, and something that we believe very strongly as a people that if we put our acts together and put our resources together, we believe that we can make the best out of this, because there's a lot to be derived in terms of the economy, in terms of getting our young ones engaged.
It's evident that Nasarawa is the land of outstanding natural beauty. Yes, and from what the Honorable Minister told you earlier on, that the warm reception we received from the local community is very encouraging. It shows that the people are really ready, to restart tourism.
This is exactly what the alternative economy that the Nigerian government has been talking about. This is alternative. The investment in this, the potentials that are available. Our responsibility at NTDC is to create a digital identity for this and promote it.
Amazing location worth visiting. Still on tourism, boat regatta is a traditional heritage of the Calabar people and riverine community in River State. It is an exciting event that indigenes and non-indigenes look forward to. Jenny Bassey reports that regattas are fast becoming famous, attracting more and more audiences.
Residents and visitors converged at the bank of the river of Abonima to participate, watch, and enjoy the festival that dates back to the beginning of the community, Boat Regatta. The festival is a spectacle that depicts the state's aquatic splendor. Participants at the regatta displayed their mastery of paddling skills with canoes well decorated to the delight of all. It is a performance of beautiful colors, music, dance, and aquatic display. Beside the flamboyant display, there is an aesthetic value attached to this beautifully decorated boat and canoe.
It's not every time we will bring out boat regatta. It is on a special occasion. Not only the regatta, there is Igra. Even the Igra has its own uniqueness in the Calabar culture.
It's a tradition in Calabar Kingdom. When a prominent chief dies, these are the processes. These are the things we do to commemorate the dead.
Boat regatta is very symbolic as it showcases one of Nigeria's rich cultural heritage, which could yield enormous potentials and evolve into international tourism attraction if properly harnessed.
Regattas are colorful, got to love them. Now, if you've ever been to Nnewi in Anambra State, you can tell that the average woman values her motorcycle, and there are several reasons. Topmost is easy mobility. Chinyere Fesi Okoye tells us more about this trend from that town.
The industrial city of Nnewi, popularly referred to as industrial hub of Anambra State, the heart of the city known as Nkwo Triangle, the new motorcycle spare parts, Nkwo Nnewi, as well as the adjoining streets and suburbs are visually filled with hundreds of motorcycles on display by men and women alike of various age brackets. It will appear as if the town has transformed into a huge motorcycle village, with majority of the riders being the female folk. Findings reveal that an average Nnewi woman clutches onto her motorcycle as a sense of belonging and also a veritable companion in her daily activities. Hardly can you get a family without at least one motorcycle to their credit, even when they also own fleet of cars. Little wonder it is referred to by many as Wanyi Nnewi, meaning daughter of Nnewi.
Some people call this a machine Wanyi Nnewi. Is that true?
Because of all the women of Nnewi have machine. Some houses, if you reach some houses, maybe 5 machines inside, 4 machines, more than at least before 10 years, start running machines.
Why is it that most women in Nnewi drive machine?
Because we are dealing with machine.
Every Nnewi woman started driving motorcycle from childhood. Why is this so? Is that why they call it Wanyi Nnewi?
Yes, it is almost in short, it's in form of our culture. We are not driving bicycle.
Majority of residents of Nnewi are traders who specialize on assembling of auto and motorcycle spare parts, making it easier for every household to own one.
Is that we're much more conversant because here we sell most of the parts and all that, the motorcycle itself, we import, we export and all that. So we are much more conversant with motorcycle, and due to bad roads, you will see a man, someone that is very much wealthy, but he has the motorcycle inside. Reason is because the remote areas, the remote villages, you can go through those places with your motorcycle easily and to avoid traffic.
Even if this is my business, they help me to do the business. Without it, I cannot do the business.
Though research shows that motorcycles are 38 times more dangerous than driving a car, because if the rider hits an immovable object or someone hits the bike, the rider will be the one to get hurt or even die. Nnewi women are not deterred at all as they ride without fear, even with excess load or family members.
Oh, I can't imagine myself riding a motorbike. I can't imagine it, not for anything in the world. So I must commend the Navy women for being very brave. Moving on, efforts towards restoration of peace and harmonious coexistence among communities in Taraba South and parts of Benue State have started gaining momentum. Adamu Haruna Adams reported broken relationships have been mended, courtesy of stakeholders in peace-building initiatives.
And Wukari local government areas in Taraba South Senatorial and Ukum local government area of Benue State were engulfed in ethno-religious crisis that resulted in loss of lives, property, and displacement of thousands of people from their homes. However, government establishments like the Northeast Development Commission and non-governmental organizations are deploying various strategies for dispute resolution and conflict management in the areas. A foundation for peace, hope, and conflict management, in collaboration with Taraba State Government and other stakeholders, held stakeholder meetings in Takum, Wukari, and Ukum, Benue State, as part of efforts towards promotion of peaceful coexistence among the warring communities of Jukun, Kuteb, Tiv, and Fulani, among other ethnic groups.
Find solutions. How do we end this problem and the Jukun and Tiv in Wukari live together in peace?
The foundation also put together a peace unity football tournament in Wukari, which brought together members of communities who previously could not come together.
As they start this football field, I've been seeing some changes. People are starting bringing themselves together. We have the peace. One can go to another man's house. This man can go to this one house. Before, it will not be happen like that.
We should shun about religion. We should shun about cultural differences. We should come together and stay together to promote the progress of this town.
I am very, very happy the way I see people throw. I didn't expect that.
The Muslims and the Christians are playing football, and they bring out our traditional masquerade to come and dance. And I saw some people that I have not seen for long.
They should learn to honestly come together and find mutual solutions to their conflicts. Mutual, very, very important. We cannot be selfish. We cannot insist on what we want and what we don't want.
Let us unite around a common cause to build a better future on the basis of understanding.
Meanwhile, dialogues and sensitization of communities for harmonious coexistence still go on in the affected areas.
Heartwarming to see lasting peace being restored. Let's go on a break. Stay with us for more stories.
Hey guys, making music for you is so easy for me to do. But you know what else is super easy to do? Linking your NIN to your Glow line by dialing *109*NIN#. Or I can call 109 from my Glow line and follow the instructions. And if I don't want to call, I can text my NIN to 109. I can even visit glowworld.com/NIN. And what if you've forgotten your NIN? All you have to do is dial *346# and Glow will help you remember it. Someone may ask, what if I haven't registered? All you have to do is go into the nearest Glow World and we'll help you register. It's that easy. So don't get disconnected from all of the amazing voice and data offers from Glow. Linking your NIN to your Glow lines is simple, safe, and 100% free with zero hassles.
When times are tough, we know that as a mother, one thing you should never compromise on is your family's oral health, because they deserve the best. Oral-B, all-round protection. It's great value. It protects your mouth from harmful bacteria and also protects you against tooth holes and gum problems which can lead to tooth loss. It strengthens your family's teeth and gives them all-round protection. So remember, protect their future. Oral-B for healthier, stronger teeth in just 1 week.
We have that available.
Babes, are you hungry?
Famished.
Always remember, you deserve a break.
Yes, we can provide.
You can indulge in a cup of 3-in-1 Cadbury Hot Chocolate. Cadbury Hot Chocolate. Indulge. Now available in the 450 grams pouch.
In my house, we may look alike, but we are very different individuals. Everybody believes their way is best. That's why Golden Penny Pasta is our favorite meal.
Golden Penny Pasta, made with durum wheat, is tasty, nutritious, a source of protein and fiber, and non-sticky. So you can cook, serve, and eat your pasta just the way you like it. With Golden Penny Pasta, your way is best.
So let's start your baby's journey in comfort with a Huggies Happy Home Bonanza. Win your baby a beautiful new home, a brand new car, up to $1 million in cash rewards, shopping vouchers, and lots of instant airtime. Just buy any special Huggies pack. Scratch the promo sticker on pack to start winning. Buy now and win to bring your baby up in comfort. Huggies for all night dryness and comfort.
Son, being good at something requires strength. It requires putting in more. That's why the new improved Bonvita is packed with vitality and a richer, creamier taste.
Not all washing powders are the same. Sunlight adds bursts of freshness to cleaning power to give you Sunlight 2-in-1 for sensational cleaning and freshness that lasts. Sunlight 2-in-1 sensational cleaning with burst after burst of freshness. Introducing Sunlight with luxurious oud fragrance.
What's inside this beautiful house? Inside, there is a very beautiful family. And in this family, there is a lot of love. And inside this love, there's Alpenliebe. And in the center of Alpenliebe, there is a feeling made with rich milk and creamy caramel. Alpenliebe, the milk-filled candy that warms your heart with love. Alpenliebe, bring hearts closer.
We just heard gunshots, north of the advanced position.
This enemy is not fighting a conventional war.
Our intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance platform will point the army to their location.
We're being deployed to the trouble spot.
We have the Calabar in the air. And what's the situation?
The enemy is still out there, and the nation is counting on us. And I am counting on you guys.
This does not smell good.
I saw his jet go down, but I didn't spot him eject.
I'll just like for you both to make me a promise.
Hey, we don't need this energy.
Here, we stand for our men, while our husbands stand for our nation.
Eagle Wings, showing in a cinema near you.
Welcome back. Apart from being a citadel of knowledge, the Ivory Tower is assuming a new responsibility of championing the cause of value reorientation and moral rebirth in a society grappling with all forms of decadence. This opinion was endorsed by scholars at the 16th Annual Conference of Fulbright Alumni Association of Nigeria, which held at Bowen University, Iwo, Osun State. Balaji Akim reports that the event coincided with the 75th anniversary of the association.
In strong terms, condemned sexual harassment and substance abuse in tertiary institutions across the country. They also underscored the dire need to find a lasting solution to this menace, as it is capable of adversely affecting the nation's growth and development.
It's becoming a challenging issue in the entire society. And I think if we want to put a stop to it, the ideas, the ways and methods must emanate from the ivory tower.
We told ourselves that we cannot be in the university and just look the other way. We should be able to engage in discourse, do some research, and find out what is really going on and see how we can intervene.
The U.S. Embassy in Nigeria equally lent us support for every effort geared towards a sustainable growth and development of the ivory towers.
And so we very much support the association's effort to address these issues in a transparent way and are looking forward to making some advances in the way these issues are discussed here in Nigeria.
Whatever problems you are encountering in Nigeria, they have a way of spreading to the university. And that's why I talked about the dialectical interplay between the university on one hand and the Nigerian social formation in Nigeria.
Former Executive Secretary, National University Commission, NUC, Professor Julius Okoji, who sent a message to the conference, noted that no community can survive without society and family values, such that the ivory towers are not exempted from. The event featured presentation of distinguished awards to some members of the Fulbright Alumni Association of Nigeria for their contribution to the growth of the association.
Moving on, a new disinfectant, Kilrock's alcohol disinfectant wipes, fortified to kill 99.9% of viruses, bacteria and fungi, has been unveiled in Abuja. Charles Alpha reports that the product, manufactured by Safta Mobile Nigeria Limited, is sure to improve the hygienic consciousness of people.
The new disinfectant capable of killing germs, fungi, and viruses is in town and will soon be in your homes, offices, cars, and supermarkets. It is Kilrock's alcohol disinfectant wipes. Kilrock's can be used to disinfect the hands, computer mouse, personal computers, doorknobs, phones, toilets, and greasy surfaces.
Mothers can put this in the school bag of their children. All right, mothers can take this wherever they're going. People who are having parties can afford to give this to all their guests.
Nnamdi Nwokike is a Nigerian with an indigenous company and the manufacturer of Kilrock disinfectant. His ultimate aim was to find another way to stem the outbreak of coronavirus and improve the well-being of Nigerians.
You're bound to get effective disinfection. And that's why we claim that it kills 99.9% of viruses.
What are users of Kilrock saying about the product?
I think there is more irritation. It gives you a cool effect.
It's handy. It's easy to carry. In my handbag, I just put this and I'm fine.
For those of you who are into the business of handling the microphone like me, all you have to do is get a wipe, disinfect your microphone, and continue with what you know how to do best. Kilrock's was unveiled in Abuja by the Minister of Health for State, Olorunibe Mamora, along with past and present governors, members of the National Assembly, former and current ministers, heads of agencies, doctors, and opinion leaders. They were certain Kilrock's will impact positively in its own rise on health, while improving the culture of hygiene.
Those wipes are really convenient. Now, COVID-19 has brought a lot of things to a standstill, but it certainly hasn't affected weddings, with the latest couple in town being Fatima Ahmed Safana and Hafiz Lawal Kuki. Naja'atu Tijani has all the juicy details.
Weddings are memorable occasions which bring families together, and when the families include political stalwarts like Ahmed Dayebu Safana, member representing Bats Ari Safana and the Musa constituency, then it's all the more memorable. The proud father gave out his daughter Fatima's hand in marriage to her Prince Charming Hafiz Lawal Kuki, also from Katsina State, in a small ceremony which took place immediately after the nikah at Crescent Mosque Warimpa in Abuja. Dignitaries from across the country and representatives from the Nigerian Television Authority were in attendance in strict compliance with COVID-19 protocol. Afterwards, bride and groom made their joy known. The bride barely had time to say farewell before she was whisked away to her new home.
Congratulations to the couple. It was a moment of glory for Idris Balarabe Ibrahim, fondly called Mashal, when he received the title Dan Amaru from Jama Traditional Council of Southern Kaduna. He was honored for his efforts at cementing a bond of unity among Nigerians as well as other philanthropic gestures. Kim Quartz brings to Newsline highlights of the occasion.
It's a mix of royalty and scores of dignitaries at the turbaning ceremony of Idris Balarabe Ibrahim. The title of Dan Amar Jama'a by the Emir Muhammadu Isa Muhammadu is honoring the recipient for excelling in his chosen career and service to humanity.
Thank Almighty Allah, Almighty God, for the opportunity given to me by His Royal Highness, the Emir of Jama, the Amir of Jama, to thank him and to thank the community of Jama. I'll try to do my possible best to uplift the Emirate, especially what the government is doing in terms of peace and progress and unity. You can see our community is developing fast through the work of our Excellency Governor Nasir El-Rufai. So all we need to do is to give advice.
Friends and relations say the new Dan Amar should do more for the people.
Prayers is for the Almighty Allah to give him the strength to continue to be that role model that he is to the youth and to people around him, from family, friends to workplaces.
Dan Amar has been always kind to humanity. He's somebody that always wants to assist people, more especially less privileged. So in terms of responsibility given to him, I am sure he will not be found wanting.
Dan Amar is going to be an asset to the Emirate.
Honor well deserved. Moving down, the Nasarawa Emirate Council in Nasarawa State recently appreciated the noble roles of some of its sons and daughters in the development of the community in diverse ways. Prominent among recipients is Alhaji Shehu Usman Suleiman, a retired deputy director with the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing. He was turbaned as the Ubanduman Nasarawa. Ben Mitu takes it from here.
With the usual pomp and pageantry associated with royalty, so was the palace of the Emir of Nasarawa in Nasarawa State. These are royalties who stood out in their own rights, but one of them who distinguished himself in community development, education, and exemplary leadership is Alhaji Shehu Usman Suleiman, a retired deputy director with the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing. With the traditional rights over, the Emir of Nasarawa, Alhaji Ibrahim Usman Jibril, charged the newly decorated title holders to be of good conduct, promote peace, protect their people, and not to engage in any act that will tarnish the image of the Emirate.
You should be fair to all, lead by example, and the fear of God.
The Director General of the NTA, Malam Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, represented by the General Manager NTA Lafia, who expressed joy for the pure display of culture, said NTA will continue with its mandate of promoting the rich cultural heritage of Nigeria to the outside world.
The Director General of NTA uses all the paraphernalia of NTA outreach to promote our nation's culture. And that is why NTA is at the forefront of promoting what is Nigerian for Nigerians.
The newly turbaned Ubanduman Nasarawa, who expressed appreciation to the Emirate Council for rewarding his little contributions, said This will trigger him for greater responsibilities.
From today, we'll try to do more. We'll try to be closer to our people, try to serve them the more, and be guided by the God and our religion.
Born in 1959, Alhaji Shehu Usman has served as a lecturer, civil servant, and a community leader at different times.
We say congratulations to Alhaji Usman. A report just reaching us says President Muhammadu Buhari has joined the governing party, All Progressives Congress, and teaming members in congratulating Asiwaju Bola Tinubu on his 69th birthday. The president rejoices with the patriots and statesmen on the 12th colloquium, an intellectual gathering to commemorate his birthday that has over the years turned into a veritable opportunity for discussing topical national issues and harnessing ideas that will move the nation forward. The president affirms the former Lagos State governor has inspired many leaders and continues to nurture talents for the benefit of the country, while acknowledging his role in the stability of the APC as an advocate for good governance. You're still watching Newsline. Let's take a few commercial messages now. We'll continue shortly.
It's time for celebration. 30 years bustling with goodness. The challenge can never ever stop us. You can't underrate us. You can't underrate. Bustling with so much greatness. Enjoy a world of
Like a bird needs wings to fly, you need skills to be productive. No matter the level of your education, ITF can train you to acquire skills in areas like mechatronics, metal machining, facility technology, electronics and computer networking, information and communication technology, ICT, culinary art, and agriculture. Acquire a skill and transform yourself from being unemployed to becoming even an employer. Be a valuable Nigerian youth. Say no to unemployment and poverty.
I'll spread my wings and fly so high. I'll reach for the stars, yeah, it's time.
Industrial Training Fund, developing the nation's human resource.
So smooth. Say you wanna party with a legend in the making. Spend it as we get it, better spread is what we baking. Say it out, I mean it, girl, the word is for the taking. But how I do my thing smooth, that's on everything. Smooth, 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 smooth. But how I do my thing, working like I'm buzzing, bet I'm bugging for the honey. But how I do my thing smooth, that's on everything. Smooth, 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 smooth.
Hey, Go TV don't do am again, no. Then stand by your side, gidigba. Enjoy 32% discount on top Go TV Max. Yes, so if you pay Go TV Jolly for only 2,460 naira, now so Go TV go upgrade you sharply to max levels with 75 plus channels. Abracadabra. I go talk am again. When you reconnect on top Jolly subscription for 2,460 naira, then go summer you with Oga of Entertainment. Go TV Max. Make you enjoy Indian series for Star Life, La Liga, Premier League football, Big Brother Niger highlights on Africa Magic, Nigerian Idol, BET, Cartoon Network, and etc. Better discount, better savings. Go TV truly there your side. Existing Max customers as at first March, not follow for this offer. Terms and conditions dey. Go TV, love it.
The vaccine offers hope for a safe country free of coronavirus. I urge all state governments, traditional and religious leaders to take the lead in the mobilization effort within their environment and spheres of influence. I similarly urge all eligible Nigerians to present themselves and be vaccinated in accordance with the order of priority already mapped out at the various authorized designated centers only.
Welcome back. Now straight to crime and some cringe-worthy stories. We told you earlier in our news segment that the Nigeria Police Force has paraded 16 IPOD members for their alleged involvement in a series of violent attacks against security operations in the southeast recently. Over now to Francis Farm for more.
The arrest, according to the police, is the outcome of painstaking and tireless efforts by the operatives working in collaboration with their counterparts in the armed forces and others to bring to justice persons responsible for such attacks and destruction of security facilities and operational assets. Investigations by the police revealed that 28-year-old Ugochukwu, who is second in command in the Eastern Security Network, and 31-year-old Raphael were among the alleged criminal elements who attacked police on duty at checkpoints on the 24th December 2020 along Olu-Ihiala Road in Imo State, where 2 police officers were killed and a police Hilux patrol van set ablaze.
On 25th of January, when they have exchange of fire with army in Olu-Owerri Road, and 4 army were killed. Why I enter Biafra IPOD, I'm a member of ESM because I don't have a job. I feel safe if I enter ESM, I will have a job.
This 60-year-old suspect confirmed being the coordinator of IPOD in his unit and admitted providing land for the illegal security network.
I'm a member of IPOD. My wife is a member. My son is a member. My daughter is a member.
All the suspects, like 38-year-old Kelechi, confessed to have sold an AK-47 rifle he claimed to have found in the bush behind his apartment at the cost of 400,000 naira to take care of his pregnant wife. The force enjoins parents as well as traditional leaders to prevail on their children and words to desist from towing the destructive path of crime and further resolve to charge all suspects to court on conclusion of investigations.
Next up, news about the woman who murdered her husband's new wife went viral during the week. Clearly motivated by extreme jealousy, the scorned woman carried out the act in the comfort of their home. The man at the center of the storm narrated the sad story to Sena Musa.
Of man's inhumanity to man was again demonstrated when a 17-year-old newlywed Fatima Ibrahim was allegedly murdered by her co-wife barely 54 days into the marriage. The dream of every newlywed is looking forward to a blissful marital life, more so when married to a soulmate who is compassionate and affluent. And so was the case of Fatima, who married her heartthrob, Ali Abdullahi Barak, a businessman, and became his second legal wife. This is according to Islamic injunction. Sadly, little did Fatima, who was brought down to Mina, Niger State from Katsina after her marriage, knew that her hopes and aspirations will be dashed even before they begin. On that fateful day, the deceased went about her chores without the premonition that death is lurking around the corner as her co-wife, 24-year-old Amina Aliyu, mother of 3 and currently nursing a 3-week-old baby, allegedly conspired with her sisters and snuffed life out of Fatima in an attempt to cover up her tracks at the room ablaze. Luck, however, ran out on her, as corroborated by their 40-year-old husband, Aliyu Abdullahi Barak, the man at the center of the storm, who spoke to NTA News via phone as he traveled to Katsina for the deceased funeral.
When I arrived the house, there was no sign of fire outbreak. On entering her apartment, I saw my late wife with wounds on her head as if she was hit on the forehead. Auntie Amina's sisters were in the new bride's apartment, gisting in her room, so it's quite a shock hearing what happened afterwards.
Neighbors of the accused and her stepdaughter are still struggling to come to terms with the unfortunate incidents. The horrendous tragic event, which now serves as an eye-opener to the deceased husband, Aliu Barak, is now pointing accusing finger on the alleged murderer, who is currently in police custody.
I never prepared for this, as we have never had any heated argument with the suspect and even my new wife, but I am speculating that the act was preempted because I asked my new wife to get ready to register for an e-passport, even though I asked the suspect's sister to come along too, as I intended to take them for lesser hajj, the privilege the accused have enjoyed in the past.
A witness who happened to be the sister of the senior wife confessed to us categorically that the sister, which is the wife, used a mortar pestle to hit the deceased, and as a result of that, she was unconscious. She was lying down in a pool of blood.
Psychologically, you look at hatred. The woman may not really have been happy with the co-wife, probably not also happy with the husband. Do not allow your emotions to mislead you. Emotions from external influence, and you begin to love this kind of, outrageous hatred.
So as people continue to await the result of police investigation, only time will tell the extent of co-wife involvement in the murder saga, as time never stops telling.
Quite unfortunate. Meanwhile, father of late Fatima, Ibrahim Sidi, has described the gruesome murder of his daughter as inhuman, insisting that justice must take its course on the alleged killer. He spoke to Newsline crew when they visited his residence at Sabuwa Ongua, Katsina. Mohammed Balasani reports.
This is the residence of Malam Ibrahim Yahya Sidi, na Khalifa, the father of late Fatima, at the Sabur Ngwa behind Nokowa Bread in Katsina Metropolis. Speaking to Newsline on the killing of his daughter, Malam Nasidi said the killing was by design, not by accident, hence the need for the perpetrators to be punished to serve as deterrent to others.
People are coming to greet us. What happened is quite unfortunate. Her husband gave her a ticket to Saudi Arabia to perform Umrah, so her co-wife, out of jealousy, beat her and burnt her. The husband says justice must be served.
The senior and junior brothers of the deceased, Abdulaziz Sidi and Muhammad Ibrahim Sidi, who were visibly sad on the incident, described the killing of their sister as intentional simply because of hatred, saying that it's against the teachings of Islam.
This case is with the authorities. We are waiting for them. Let security do justice urgently. What happened to her is terrible. I came home and saw everybody sitting down. My mother said I should also sit down.
When I reached Fati's house, we knocked severally, but to no avail. I met her maid Aisha. When I peeped the window, I smelled blood. I asked, "Where is everybody?" I went back and continued knocking.
Fatima was born some 20 years ago at Sabur Ongwa behind Nokowa Bread in Katsina Metropolis. Her body was buried at Abu Tonu Central Graveyard as her father instructed that her remains be brought to Katsina for the funeral rites.
Condolences to the family. May her soul rest in peace, and expect updates on that story. Mothers are special people created to nurture and love. This also applies to stepmothers who, by providence, take over the responsibility of caring for their husbands' children. However, there have been many instances where stepchildren are bullied and even attacked. This situation recently occurred in Akwa Ibom State. A woman, after killing her stepson, beheaded the corpse, claiming it would prevent retaliation from the boy's ghosts. Clement Barricue tells us more on this and crimes by other suspects who are before the law in that state.
Like every young Nigerian, 19-year-old Edidiong Ime Wilson might have woken up on December 24, 2020 with plans for the day, not knowing what lies ahead. His stepmother conspired with 4 others and abducted him to a nearby bush at Ikorosekong, Eket local government area, where he was beaten to death. The suspect buried the deceased and later went back to exhume the decomposed body after 3 days, cut off the head and bury it separately on grounds that the ghost was disturbing them. The reason for this dastardly act is because he never returned the 100,000 naira the stepmother gave him to keep.
When they took the boy on bicycle, me, I was not there. When they go beat that boy. That boy was not there. Before me, I go beat them. They don't beat the boy. That boy weak.
After we beat him and finished, he did not die. He still talked with us. He said that he is having stomach ulcer. That's money, did not anything. They just at least give him water to drink. He just give him water to drink. Mama, that thing was a mistake. And is that water that we gave that boy that make that boy to die? I'm telling you nothing but the truth.
It's our friend that just tell us that the spirit is stopping him.
Your friend told you the spirit is stopping him?
Yes, that they should just go and bury the boy. So we now went there. So the boy just go and cut his head and bury his head.
Another case under investigation by the police involves Grace Samson Edem, an indigene of Mbiabong Ibianibom local government area of Akwa Ibom State. Grace visited her sister-in-law with her 8 and 9 months old children. While on her way back, the boyfriend of the sister-in-law connived with 3 others, macheted the victim on the neck, believing her to be dead, abducted her 2 sons, but luck ran out of them as they were arrested by the police following the help of youth of the community. Grace was rushed to the hospital and she is responding to treatment.
The day twins come ask me, may I ask the girl for a friend for him? May I not allow his wife? No. So I don't talk with the girl. I have the girlfriend. The girl don't accept. I carry the girl told me, make I carry those the children, go give his sister for house.
Among other high-level breakthroughs by the Akwa Ibom State Police Command include arrest of kidnapped suspect, attempted child stealing, and a student of Akwa Ibom State University arrested for cultism and unlawful possession of firearm.
Let me particularly state here that we are enjoying the cooperation of the state government and the public, and we indulge and beg all our citizens of Akwa Ibom State to give us useful information in time so that we can be able to keep the state crime-free.
The police say the war against all forms of criminality will continue, while those apprehended will be charged to courts.
Some crimes are stranger than fiction, sad for the victims, especially the stepson. I'll pause again for a break. Stay with us.
Vaccine is safe and it has been certified safe and usable by NAFTA.
Let's talk about food now. Nigerians may be familiar with certain seafoods, but I'm not sure about oysters. For those who've had the pleasure of consuming it, the taste is great. For others, you might want to try it. The report coming next will examine the nutritional facts and health benefits of oysters, and Utube Achibong is our guide.
The importance of oysters, just like any other seafood, cannot be overemphasized, as they are known for their rich content in protein and other essential nutrients that are required for the proper functioning of the human body. Popularly known as nkop by the Ibibios, oysters can be found between the riverine areas of Akwa Ibom and Cross River states. This seafood, which is in season now and more affordable, can be used in almost all types of delicacies, including stew, rice, okra soup, ekpang kukwo, and more, making the demand higher.
The oyster is a very good and delicious food that works in the body, nourish the body, and make the body very fresh. I can't stay without eating it.
I would like people to buy in cup. It's better than buying meat. If you are aged, you have to eat in cup. It's for poor and the rich people. You can use it for stew, you can use it for soup.
Depends how we have a customers. They'll come to buy it and go. Sometimes I can sell it a day, 15,000, 10,000 in a day.
With its numerous health benefits, Mrs. Mercy Umo, a public health officer, says oysters also play a vital role in the development of the fetus.
It's a very proteinous seafood that everyone needs, not even the pregnant women alone. Like your child, it can help the child to grow very well. It's just protein. And anything seafood, please don't run away from it. It's very, very good and very nutritious. And it also helps to fight against some diseases in the body.
Although different countries of the world have various species of oysters, surprisingly, this seafood is not known in so many parts of Nigeria.
Now, please, I've not seen such thing before, so I'm not sure my people eat it. But I've eaten it once the day I came to Akwa Ibom State. I've eaten it once. It was nice.
I wouldn't say we have oysters in our place because I've not seen it until I didn't know about oysters until I came to Akwa Ibom State.
But now that you know, it is necessary you give it a try, as a good quantity of oysters will not only make your meals appetizing, but its nutrients will sure keep you out of the hospital for a long while.
Confession, I've never had oysters, so maybe we should try together, okay? Moving on, a Madala market is one of the many weekly markets that attract shoppers, mostly from the FCT. Abdullahi Suleiman Iyaji, however, reports that although a local economic booster for Suleja, more tourists plying the Kaduna-Abuja-Lokoja highway are lamenting the bottleneck caused by activities at Madala market.
Open for business only on Thursdays. Customers, traders, and road users attracted to Madala market brave the odds and face the risk that comes with such a gathering dangerously along the highway. On display are all kinds of foodstuff, clothing, household items, competing for space with the heavy influx of vehicles.
I'm a resident here for more than 20 years. A lot of lives are lost here.
Apart from traders' encroachment into the main road, research indicates that the largely unplanned market on the FCT borderline avails many the opportunity to shuttle and do brisk business, as the market is reputed to offer mouth-watering discounts, a reality that comes at a price, considering the cost of the gridlock in terms of productive hours lost in transit.
Why I prefer this place? Because when you have money, you now rent for shop, you now go for shop. When you don't have money, you can stay in the roadside and do your business.
And whenever they are having a market here every Thursday, they go slow. So if government can provide enough space where people can freely do their businesses, it will be of great economic value for them too.
Seen as an asset, many agree that the market of such caliber can do without being on a major heavily busy national road and instead be relocated to a more accessible place for the benefit of all.
Yes, sanity should be restored on that location. With that, we thank you for watching Newsline. Hope to see you same time on Sunday. And a final word, you can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. Good night and God bless Nigeria.
of the coronavirus pandemic. Information management is key.
I'm Cyril Stober.
Fatima Umar Buba.
Joseph Johnson.
Ian Ray John.
Muhammad Kudu Abubakar.
Jumbo Yusuf.
My name is Kirian Umaya.
Here in NTA, we're working very hard to make sure that everything we broadcast is accurate and up to date. Misinformation spreads very fast.
The social media has been a huge conveyor of misleading information from one individual to another, then to another set of groups. In a short while, it goes viral, and before you know it, it is all over the world.
There have been several misleading information on coronavirus, COVID-19. Recently, the misconception of 5G as a cause of coronavirus is becoming widespread. Another is the belief that hot beverages and alcoholic drinks are internal cleanser for COVID-19, thereby leading to excessive consumption of these drinks.
The use of local concoctions as treatment for COVID-19 are yet to be scientifically proven. However, there has been several theories about the efficacies of these concoctions. We should stay safe and denounce all manner of fake news and misleading information on COVID-19.
For medical advice, go on the WHO website, Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC website, or stick with the advisories from the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 or other authentic official sources. NTA is one of them.
Driving the rain.
It depends on the velocity of the rain.
I never get this kind of thing, or I hear it. Abuja Intra-Projects Agency then called me because we are partner with them. They say you should come. There is a survivor fund that the government wanted to give technicians.
They capture everybody, including food seller in my own workshop.
When my chairman called me that there is parity something, that I should come and take my cash up. The money now come, and that money helped me a lot. As a widow, where there is no husband. So it's this thing that I used to help myself, and that money helped me and pay some of my children's school fees.
You don't reach almost 40-something years back where I did for this Nigeria. I never get this kind of thing, or I hear it.
It is only this government, President Muhammadu Buhari, likewise in vice, that he recognized a mechanic.
This is the network service of the NTA.
10 gives you 17. Of course, when you add around the 7 onto it, gives you around 77. That is not an ordinary figure to us today and this week. We shall be talking about this very figure 77 and how all what we'll be saying melts into this figure through a personality. Welcome to Reflections. My name is Yusuf Nadab Osman. And today and this week, we shall see or look at a person with that age, talking about my personality, who is 77 years old. He's a chartered architect, an inductee into the Nigerian Construction Industry Hall of Fame. And of course, he is a banker, if you like. He's an insurance man, member of the Order of the Niger. And of course, one-time Minister of State Health Ministry, that is. My guest is Gabriel Yakubu Aduku. We welcome to Reflection, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Hello, Yusuf.
I almost skipped, a title you cherish, because as we were discussing, and that title is Amana Igohi One Ata Igala.
Correct, yes. Thank you. That's it.
Yes. That's the title at home.
At home. Thank you.
From a technical officer to an architectural officer.
Yes.
And of course, to an architect full-fledged. Yes. And there you are, you became a chartered architect.
Yes.
And then you rose to the topmost part of architecture in Nigeria, and you are a member of the Hall of Fame of Nigerian Construction Industry Hall.
Yes.
Was that deliberate? Did you dream of being so? How did you become an architect from, looking at the chain, it just fits in one after the other as if it was planned.
Well, maybe I believe there is God. So maybe it's a God's plan for my life. Because I come from a typical rural farmer's home. And the home of polygamists. Because I was lucky that my mother gave birth to all of us, and I was the last of her 12 endeavors. And it's nothing but a farmer lived in Abuja. And so I grew up under a farming situation. But there happened to be a school. There happened to be a missionary in Abuja, missionary called the CMML, that is Christian missionary in many lands, as I is interpreted. And I also have some of my cousins and friends who go to that school and some. So at a point, my dad said, follow them to school, since you are always reluctant to go to farm. So I joined my cousin, they call him Daniel Okolo. So we are of the same age, sort of. So it became a good company at the CMML primary school. And we started in 1950 or something like that, about that, 1950. And then we left Abuja. We were just beginning standard 3, standard 4 or something like that, in 1953, when for some reasons the school had to be disbanded. I won't go into the reasons why now, but we left there. I found myself in Ofante to conclude my primary school. Ofante is still a place in Ogugu area of in Anambra local government, in Olamaboro local government, in Kogi State today. So, and there I left to really do my full primary 4, standard 4 they call it at that time, in Angpa, the same Kwaibu school. That's where I started the Kwaibu school, 1954. From there I passed on to Ida, where I did my primary 5, 6, in 1955 and 56. At the end of 56, I was luckily selected to go to Kenny Secondary School those days, which was a northern, one of the few northern secondary schools. We were the first set to sit West African exams in 5 years. Okay, so we joined with the other class, which is 6 years, to do the exam that year, 1961.
And from there, you moved on to Ahmadu Bello University, or
yes,
what really happened?
Yes. From there, after the 6th form, 2 years, I moved to Zaria to take up an appointment under what they call IAR, Institute of Agric Research, in the laboratory there for 9 months. So in the real terms, all this time I never thought of architecture. I didn't even know what it's called architecture as such. After the 9 months, I got enrolled into the university.
So when did you really complete your architectural studies in Ahmadu Bello University? In which year was that?
I entered straight in 1964-65. 64 when I was exactly, how many years? 20 years.
That's 20 years.
Exactly.
And you completed?
Age. Yes, that's when I entered.
And you completed?
And then I completed in 69, 77.
I'm asking that question because 64, 69, 70, that was that was when the war was raging on in the Nigerian Civil War, 66 to around 69, 70. You were a student then.
Yes.
And then if you can just briefly tell us about the experience of a student at that time during the war.
At that time. When we entered, it was a beautiful mix, everybody who entered. From the west, the north,
the east, all over.
Everywhere, yes.
In Ahmadu Bello.
In Ahmadu Bello.
Right.
Ribadu Hall, a popular hall, Alexander Hall, and all that sort of. Okay. And even the women, though there were few, you know, everybody felt at home there, and doing your own courses. Yes. Despite the uniqueness of architecture course, was still very active in the student unionism and all the rest of it, you know. So when in 1966, something was smoldering about the nation, and we heard of the coup that happened. It was a shock to those of us, particularly, say, from the northern portion of the and lost Ahmadu Bello. When a little more details were picked up, it generated what it did, in which resulted in Araba.
Okay. What does it mean?
What?
What does it mean?
Araba. You know more than me what to say. Let's separate and go.
Okay.
If you can come and kill our own people like this.
All right.
Go kill Sadauna. Thought it was the worst criminal anybody can do. Most unhappy. So that became like fire. And we were enjoying the campus, including our friends, the Igbo boys and all the rest of it. There could be arguments here and oh, you're brighter than me, I'm brighter than you. But that was not. But when this happened, well, as it were, you may have read the history or whatever. Come to think of Tafawa Balewa, who we all admired as students, just to listen to him.
Politically speaking, as students, you had student government.
Yes.
What did it do?
Student union.
The student union.
We were part of those demonstrators now. We didn't sleep again, everybody went. Because it was getting disrupted.
Right.
Yes, we didn't like the disruption.
Okay.
So Gowon settled, and God used him to bring the war to an end.
Right.
I won't go into the nitty-gritty of it. Yes. And I will take at this point to make this remark about Gowon.
What is that?
That go on with one Nigeria. That's part of his name that was glitched out.
The main issue at this point is you that has seen the war. You've heard it, you've seen it, you've felt it. And today, a lot of people might not have really gotten that opportunity or that knowledge you have. And more or less talking about certain issues that may divide the country, certain actions that may divide the country, and certain utterances that may also divide the country. As a person who was Senate, what would you tell Nigerians about the need and the importance of going on with one Nigeria?
Go on with one Nigeria. Yes. To me, I've said it in a few quarters, that there is no alternative than for us to retain the country called Nigeria as Nigerians. Let us find the mechanism of keeping it as a Nigeria. We have learned enough lessons from that war. We've gone into all kinds of arrangements to make us to forget that war and get on with development. NYS6, for example, brainchild of Gowon, and Ahmad Ali was able to implement it very well. Till today, NYS is running. Whether it carries the same meaning as he had it that time is a different story. So Nigerians, I'm sure even the younger ones today, they have not heard of other country than Nigeria. The disaster of allowing any chaos to happen will be the worst ever the world will record, because we have so gone into each other all over, from youth, even from our time, who experienced all that. What is it that God has blessed us in Nigeria, apart from minerals and so on, and all this oil? Forget that one. Physically, what is the greatest blessings that he gave us? You may not quickly pick it like many. That is River Niger and Benue, that runs down the middle of the country into the sea. The best communication you can ever have for economic development is on the water. But shortly after our independence, what's the status of those rivers today? Governments who are aware of, all subsequent governors have been aware, even up to Jonathan that left. They will give contracts for dredging the River Niger and Benue. What's the result? What do you get? Why has it come to be at the crest, the national crest, isn't it? Can it be correct with those animals without River Niger and Benue? So it's like drawing the map of Africa without Madagascar. That's what we used to say those days. So if you put a crest of Nigeria and you don't see River Niger symbol there, it is not.
It is not Nigeria.
It is not Nigeria.
Are we underutilizing this natural endowment?
We are not utilizing, we are even abusing it.
Right.
When a government awards a contract that is dredging for a purpose, it didn't work. Another government will come and do the same, and it didn't work. Not one, not two, not three. All along, as I told you, up to Jonathan's time, awards were being made for dredging. Even in this regime, they are awarding.
But because in this regime, effort has been made in order to dredge the Niger up to Barrow.
Yes, it's an asset from God. And if we abuse it, we are cursing ourselves. Let us go and apologize to God, and He'll forgive us. And all these wranglings will stop it. Because River Niger and Benue can admit people from Alaska straight into the interior. They go to Kebi or go to wherever, go to Yola. When you are praying as a Muslim, what are these hands all about? Signifying the supreme leader, the supreme creator, which is God. You are appealing to God. when you do this. When the Christians want to say hallelujah, they do the same. These two hands, one is Benue, one is Niger. And the hub is there, is the head, that confluence called Lokoja. Lokoja is a heritage, is one of the heritage cities of United Nations. But ask them in detail, why is Lokoja a heritage city?
Why is it, if I may ask you? You are from Lokoja.
You take it on. Again, because I've asked several times, why has it qualified to be recognized by United Nations as a heritage city? If there are heritage of Lugard, symbols of Lugard here and there, or those navigators who came and perished there, or the merchants who were on the river, anything that happened, let it be so detailed that we know. And if you value it, come and help to restore some of them that are restorable. That is the appeal we are going to give to United Nations. And we will have support. Without government investing, we will get River Niger and Benue restored, sustainably dredged, that boats and everything, cargo, all, smooth can come on it.
We'll take a break at this moment. When we come back, we'll continue a discussion on political issues and the other issues surrounding you.
Thank you very much.
You've been at the center of, can I say, political activities in Kogi State, Lokoja, for instance, that confluence town. And you're part of those, or you're a member of the National Constitutional Conference in 1994, thereabout, 1980, 94, 95, thereabout. And then you're also part of this very republic, okay, 1998, that was just, hatched up together to 1999, and then it was fruitful to date. Over 20 years we've been on political succession, successful ones for that matter. As somebody who was being that, as somebody who was aspired to be the governor, as somebody who was aspired to be a senator, as somebody who was part of the formation of the PDP, what's your comment about this successful transition since 1999 to 2019 up to date? This smooth, successful transition that Nigeria has gone through, in your own opinion, has progress been made politically?
If you try to restrict me to that angle, I find it difficult because I've been part of coming into politics when Babangida, when he took over from Buhari and said they will not want, he wants new breed to come on board.
Okay, as a young breed, you joined.
So I joined as the young breed as at that time. That was 1989 or thereabout. Babangida, when he formed the NRC
and the SDP.
And the SDP,
yeah.
Yes. So for politics from that time on to this time, I'd been in it, so I couldn't withdraw just like that. But I was tempted to say, look, I've had enough. Let me go back to my profession. But once you touch that place and you are arranging people and they begin to pick to you, you can't easily go. That's why I've stayed on. It's constitutional conference where I participated, which you were asking. It was supposed to be very meaningful. Supposed to be very meaningful. But the circumstances around Abacha ruling was a controversial thing, both internationally and some quarters also in Nigeria. I got elected from my constituency to be there. People voted for me to come. I was not just nominated. And in the conference, they said they give me a chairmanship. It was opposed heavily by my own people.
Why were your people objecting to your chairmanship of the committee?
I don't know. Nobody told me that. But the thing went on the floor, and the majority on the floor said, I will remain the chairman of the revenue allocation.
Because in that opposition, yes, I know you should try to prove other people wrong.
Yeah. I made it open, political discussion. Some people who felt too big to be in my committee, they worked themselves out and went into other committees. Thank God we got approval, carried my members to go and fly over all the oil-producing areas in an aircraft. The same aircraft which can land on sea and land carried us to Ajakuta and dropped us there on water. After our survey, those of us who went, a total mix of Nigerians, the Yorubas, each state had one member. The people from the south, where the petroleum is, came up with a rigid position of nothing less than 25% if we go into derivation, which we did. See, they will not take anything less than 25%. I say, no, you can't dictate to us. Some people, some of them stuck to it and never signed my paper. But the rest of the people, when we finally decided, you know, they endorsed the submission that mineral producing areas would receive not less than 13% of what comes out of there. Comes as revenue from their source. At his final point, I must give credit to late General Yaradua, because he took over the final financing that not less than 13% for mineral producing areas. It's not just oil, it's not just gas, anything.
Derivative now, minerals.
Minerals, because mineral is consigned to federal government only to mine and sell. Abacha was so pleased with it that he marked me to become Minister of Works in his time. But again, you know our politics. He called me, I went to Villa. They sat me in one person's office. He engaged me discussing until he said, oh, it's too late. The president is now with somebody else. We will give you another time. That was a ploy. And the president never saw me again.
Yeah, that was God's plan. Just like you had it from the beginning to this time.
That's how it continues.
So it wasn't yours per se. No. It was a plan you're following. And that's a natural way.
Yes. Unfortunately, we have to relax and get things done properly. And it is possible to do it in this country, for God's sake.
Can you precisely tell us how?
One of it is what I've already done extensively with you. Let us all believe that there's River Niger and Benue.
That is one. What's the second one?
The second one, we'll go back to the basics.
What are the basics?
Native authority arrangements, which worked.
Let us now look at you as the Minister of State in the Ministry of Health. That was between 2007 and 2008. That was a short stint.
Very short.
I mean, you've gone down into history as somebody who has just served with the least.
Within the first 2 weeks that I got in there, President Yaradua, may his soul rest in peace, invited me to Villa and said he was not interested in the contract that was awarded to just one person to do a sample or a model primary health care building or center in each of the local governments throughout Nigeria with 744 or so.
74.
He called me to his office and said, this is what he wants to do. Can I undertake it? And he will give me 2 weeks to do it and bring. And what were those things? Terminate this contract or suspend this contract. And then order it to go, evaluate all that it takes that the man has done on site since he signed the contract. Evaluate what he had done on ground in these 774 local governments, in each of them. All right, evaluate. And then take note of what has been paid to him. Now, do the adjustments that we will know whether he still has more from government on what he has executed or proceed to return. But we will stop the contract. And it gave me 2 weeks to do that.
That's a big assignment.
The whole country.
Yeah, the whole country, 774 local governments.
So I said, Mr. President, sir, I have not evaluated what it involves, but I do know that the country is very wide and communication is not the easiest. But give me additional 2 weeks. I didn't want to damp this something about it. I said, give me so 1 month. So he put the committee together for me, justice, finance, health, and then he said to do this job. And we started. First thing I had, go to the ministry. Can you release some money for us to take off? While the one that is being arranged by the committee through the president, Minister of Finance, to release while they are working on it, so that I don't lose time. The PAMSEC told me, no, there is no money for that. So I just went ahead, made my own arrangements with Zenith Bank, and they gave me a credit. It is on that credit I started off. I borrowed my experience with Sahijo, who was leading the PTF. It was the beautiful arrangement which Buhari sat on. But it was all Sahilio's job of networking and also reaching, technology had not grown well even up to that time. But I borrowed from him substantially, including my own profession. When I was president of Nigerian Institute of Architects, I had friends in the engineering, in quantity surveyors, in all of them. So similar organizations, similar bodies, associations of engineers and quantity surveyors put themselves, unfortunately with a bit of technology, the quantity surveyors